was easy.
Hey, how about that? Got a new toy here. You gotta love this.
That was easy.
Oh yeah, man. Everything's working out this morning. No problems here at stock markets with
easy.
Bruce Land. Oh yeah, man. You gotta love that. Oh, it's all good. That was easy. So easy. How's it going, everybody? How is everybody doing? Is everyone having an okay day? Welcome to Friday. It's Uncle Bruce here. And it's just another day in paradise. What can I tell you? I hope you're doing all right. Everything is good here. Friday, the weekend is coming up. Weather's going to get warmer apparently around here. They tell us we're in for a better conditions. Although I gotta say, tomorrow high of 45, but Sunday 52 and Wednesday 59. Next week Sunday 68. Oh, we got to get out the sunscreen and put on the shorts and get on golf shirts and grab the clubs and get out there. Oh my gosh, this is too much. It's heat wave. I mean, after the 60s, come the 70s. That means it's going to get hot around here, 74, 75 degrees. Oh. How you doing, everybody? Are you ready for the weekend? Have you had enough of this week? What a great old time we have here. GameStop 169.11. It's been 170 to 173, all morning. And then when I come on the air with an hour to go, it breaks under 170 just to make me look bad, make me feel bad. I think they're picking on me. What's with these guys at GameStop? I don't know. 168.80. More sellers than buyers this morning, I suppose. I can't tell you. Sometimes good news just is underappreciated or is not fully appreciated by the masses. I don't know. I can only do so much. I do the best I can with what little I have. Good morning, everybody. Is everyone all right? Have you noticed the new emojis? We got ketchup and jelly. We got ketchup and jelly emojis, and they're available for you to enjoy and pop up. And we have a new button now.
That was easy.
That was easy. It's all good. You gotta love that. Fantastic. It feels good to be a gangsta. Someone's saying, welcome all of you to the show and the channel. And also new members, and they keep coming. It's incredible. Thank you to Mike Dean, Mike Dean 22. Welcome to the channel as a brand new, my latest and greatest member. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you all coming on here and joining the party. Fantastic to see this. We are approaching 1,700 members for this channel. We're approaching 1,700 members. That is a statement to YouTube and to the following out there that people appreciate being here and they enjoy the camaraderie. They enjoy the company. They enjoy the fact that the comment area here for the live show, is reserved, of course, for members, but it means that we eliminated a lot of troll activity. We're so happy and grateful for that. And it's become a nice place to hang out. I remember the first day that we were offering channel memberships, and one of the brand new members said, it smells like a brand new car in here. It's like I'm in the interior of a brand new car. And it's got that new car smell. Really nice. Makes you feel happy. The common area is just a super place, and I really appreciate you all being here and saying hi to me and saying hi to Jennifer and hi to each other. This is good stuff. So I'm very pleased how this is working out. Thank you, all of you, for becoming members of the channel and joining in on the discussion and having fun, enjoying my stories from time to time, and trying to keep up on what the markets are doing. By the way, the markets this morning, a bit of a mixed bag. The New York looks like we have a 63-point gain to start the day. Again, this is pre-market futures. S&P showing a gain of 1 point, nothing much here. And the NASDAQ showing a dip of 38 points in the early market, we have about 55 minutes to go before we open for the day. And that is what's going on. Crude oil down 27 cents to 59.33. And that's what's going on. I remember in the day when I used to be a broker and a branch manager, typically, the markets used to begin for us in Calgary at 7:30 in the morning. That's when the markets would open up. So we would trickle into the office. Some of us would get there at about 6 in the morning, about an hour and a half before the opening. Some of us would trickle in around, let's say, just as soon as I talk about the lack of a troll, we have one. So I shouldn't say anything. Some of us are trickling at 6:30, just short of 7 o'clock, and we would come around and we'd pop in and see how things are going, and we check our pre-markets, we check our open orders. A lot of us would have clients that would say, if this stock gets down to this level, I just want to buy some. So always have an order for me to buy 1,000 shares or 3,000 shares or whatever it is at this low price in case we get lucky, because sometimes sellouts happen first thing in the morning and someone gets blown off a position and someone's there to buy it. Sometimes my clients would be those kinds of clients. They'd be there to scoop stuff up. By the way, Thomas is saying, hey, Bruce, appreciate your channel. Do you think long whales are keeping GameStop price in maximum pain? Long whales are keeping GameStop price in max pain. You mean for the shorters? They're keeping it up? I don't think so. I think the market is just keeping the stock here as it is. I think the market is quite happy, quite comfortable in this range. I wish the range were much higher right now, but it is what it is. It's in this 170, 180, 190 neighborhood, kind of, sort of in this neighborhood for now. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, in the old days, we used to come in and we check our open orders, we check our open sell orders, open buy orders. Rarely would we have a message waiting for us from a client that early in the morning, unless something internationally was going on that could affect the market. It would be pretty quiet in the office right up until about 15 minutes before the opening. Right up to about that point, it would be pretty calm. We'd have the coffee machine going in the lunchroom, and the machine would be. I remember at some of the firms we'd be in a lunchroom that would have a coffee machine that could probably make 40 cups in a shot. Could be a big container. And so first thing in the morning, whoever came in first, and usually that would be in my office when I was managing my office. It was my operations manager, the head of the cage, the guy in the back who was handling all the certificate transfers and stuff. Claude was his name, and Claude and I were real good buddies, and we really got to like each other over the years. When I started as a broker, he was in operations, and we hit it off almost immediately. He and I, within 5 minutes, knew we were going to be buddies. And it was rare. It's rare that a broker and a cage manager become pals. It's usually brokers hang out with brokers, cage people hang out with other admin people. The two usually don't hang out too much. Although the young single stockbrokers, the males who are not married, would usually hang around the reception desk, because most times the receptionists were fairly good-looking gals, and they were usually single, and so you'd get guys hanging around over there, and managers like me would have to come and get them out of there, get out of there, stop hanging around in the lobby. I don't need brokers hanging out in the lobby when customers are fewer. Coming to see brokers, don't want to have clients seeing guys hit up the receptionist. It's not what we wanted. But Claude and I hit it off right off the bat when I first started with this firm, and we would always talk to each other either openly in the open floor, or we would sometimes chat privately just over our phones in the office line, inner office line, just to talk to each other, to keep each other posted on what's going on. And when I first started at this one house, I was just a salesman. I was a desk trader, salesman, and so I was quasi-admin, and then I became salesman only, and he and I kept in touch always. And then when I left the firm, he was sad to see me go, but he knew I had to go because the manager that I was I was walking away from the firm because the manager I had, it was just unsustainable. And I went to another firm, and within a year and a half of being at the other firm, he and I were talking again. He was calling me up saying, and he would be whispering, he said, there's something going on. There's something going on. I said, what's happening? What's happening? He said, the head office, we get the vibe that the manager here, his days are numbered. We think that there's somebody coming out. We think a VP is coming out from head office to do a search for a new manager. And I wanted to give you a heads up, because if you ever wanted to come back, you should come back as the manager. Because before I left the firm earlier, I had talked to a senior VP in Toronto about the problems I was having and why I was telling him, I'm leaving the firm. I have to leave. I can't stay here anymore. Can't work with this guy. And they offered me at that time the assistant manager's position. And I said to them, guys, the reality is I'm already the assistant manager in name only. I'm doing all the functions of a manager, but this guy gets all the glory. And, taking 2-hour lunches, coming back half hammered, not good. So I have to go. You've got to make the sacrifice to make a change for this branch. And when you are, I'd love to come back. So when I heard the word that there was a senior VP coming out, I got on the blower that Sunday. It was one of the most important phone calls of my life. I don't know if some of you probably remember certain forks in the road where you've had to make decisions. I've talked about this before. You come to a point in your life where you have to either, fish or cut bait, as they say. And it was a Sunday, and I wanted to talk to this VP, the senior VP, and put my hat in the ring to be under consideration to be the manager of this firm. I would come back. And I phoned him at home because I had his home number, and I got him. And we talked for about 20 minutes, and he was, in hindsight, he was very impressed that I had done that I would call him at home and say, I want this job so bad, and I'm so dedicated to come back to the company that I'm calling you cold on a Sunday, man to man. And he knew that whatever discussions we were having were off the record, so that my current employer would never know if he didn't want to have anything happen here. It was an agreement between us that, hey, I'll leave the firm that I've joined here and come back to to this house. But I've got ideas. And he said to me, I'll be out in 2 days. I'll be out on Tuesday. And why don't we have breakfast together at my hotel room Tuesday morning, so we're not seen by the public. And so about 2 blocks away from where I was working, I met him for breakfast, I think at about 6 a.m. So the market's open at 7:30. I was there at 6, and we were together until 7. And then I walked back to my current office. And by 7:05, I was at my desk. No one was the wiser that I had just had a chat with the competition, but he and I had this chat, and we went over some ideas and some thoughts. And I got his thoughts from head office point of view. He got mine from a regional point of view, and he offered me the job. He said, I'm offering it to you right now. You're the perfect candidate because you know the firm. The firm knows you. You've been with us 3+ years already. We didn't want you to leave. We sorry to lose you, but we're so thrilled to get you back. And we like your idea of what you want to do at this place. So I got back to my desk, and then I phoned my buddy at the firm I'm going to go back to, and I said, it looks like it's happening. And he was just excited as can be. And he said, well, I'll let you know how today goes, because the senior VP from Toronto is coming in here to see our manager. And I'll let you know all about that. And in the meantime, I had to prepare myself for a departure. And in those days, when a broker left the firm, you would basically hand in a letter of resignation to your manager, and within 30 minutes, you're out of there. There's no such thing as I'm going to give you 2 weeks notice, and I'll hang around for 2 weeks, and then I'll be gone. The only way you could do that is if you were retiring. If you were going to another brokerage house, you're out now. You hand me your keys, clean out your desk, and be gone. And what you would do is you would wait until the close of business that day, and then you would see the manager one-on-one after most guys had left, because you didn't want to make it a spectacle. That's not really the way you want to do it. And then you would work your way out. So anyway, I asked to see the manager after the bell, and we sat in a little anteroom. It was a hectic day that day. I remember this day. It was a very active day. There was a lot going on. There were meetings happening at every place, and he and I could only sit down and talk to each other somewhere privately in a little tiny client meeting room off to the side. Even his office was being used by his assistant manager and other people. And so we sat down, and I said, Al, I said, I'm coming straight out to tell you that I've been offered the branch manager's position at my former firm. And he said, well, I'm not surprised, because we've been hearing rumors that there's problems over there. we know why you came here. We've heard lately there's more problems. And he said to me, well, I can't think of a better candidate. I just, you're more than a salesman. You're a broker's broker. That's what you are. And I put you together with this fellow a year ago, and the two of you have just lit it up. It's so obvious. You can take a basket case and turn it into a winner. And he said, I can't think of a better candidate. And we were both getting emotional. That's rare, very rare in the business for that. And he said to me, look, when I know you're leaving, you'll be out of here in about half an hour. But I want you to know that normally, you know how it is. When a broker leaves, we try to keep the accounts. We're not going to do that with you. You're a manager now. We're equals. You're a manager. I'm a manager. You have your firm. I have my firm. We're going to be working together with these investor relations summits and stuff. We'll see each other at these events as managers. So your book is all safe, and you have nothing to worry about. And I said, I'm really not interested in stealing any of your guys. I don't want to take any of the brokers from your house over to my house. That's not what I'm up to either. I'm going back to the old house to resurrect it, and I got to clean it up. And, I have to start from scratch over there. He said, hey, no issues. So we parted and shook hands, and whenever we met each other in the future, we were always warm to each other. It was always, how you doing over there? How's it going? What's it like being a manager, Bruce? Now that you are a manager, how are you hanging? How's it working out? And he was terrific. He was just a super guy, a real gentleman. And it's one of those bonds that you have, over time. He knew how upset I was when I came to him, when I joined him, because I'd been asked by another broker of that firm, you should come over here. You're miserable where you are. Why don't you talk to our buddy here, our manager, Al? And I met with Al, a couple years earlier, and he offered me come on in. Yeah, I'd love to have you. You're not a basket case. You're just going to be. I just need to give you a phone, a desk, a chair, and you're on your way. And that's how it worked out. But anyway, so I made the move. I said my goodbyes, and I packed up my stuff and I took it home. And I phoned up my operations manager, and I said, okay, I've left here. I'm heading home. It's a Friday. What's going on over there? He said, well, the senior VP told the manager here that you're coming in, but he didn't fire him. He didn't fire the manager. He's basically told him to move his office from where he is over to another office in the complex, which isn't as big, because the manager's office is going to be yours. And he was not happy about this, to say the least. But he didn't quit either. He didn't get fired, but he didn't quit on the spot. And we thought that when he was being demoted or sidelined, because he was a producing broker as well, he had clients, we thought that he would walk, and he didn't. And he ended up having to move offices, but he hadn't moved his office. I said, well, keep me posted on when he moves his office. And so on Saturday, I got a phone call from my operations manager, who's in the office because he had some extra work to do. And he's whispering to me, he says, hey, Bruce, listen, yeah, I just want to let you know, he's here. And he brought a box with him, and it looks like he's going to move his office today. He didn't move it yesterday. He didn't want to do it in front of everybody, but I think he's moving his office. Oh, okay. So then about an hour later, yeah. He's in the office now. He's out. So, but he took the good chair. he took his manager's chair with him, the one with the really nice leather, everything. So he also took his desk out of there. He left you with the shitty office desk, just so you know. I said, it's fine. So, but he's out. He's out. Okay, fine. So I think it was later in the day. He called me again. He said, okay, he's out. He's gone. He's gone home. So I can talk to you now. And so we talked freely, and I came into the office that afternoon and chatted with my buddy. And we then took another nice desk that the office had, because we knew, and we took the crappy little office desk out that he had put in there, and we put in the nicer one. And I think we had to buy myself a new chair or something. And I think that day we bought an office chair somewhere. I don't remember what it was. And so Monday morning, I was in the office at 6 in the morning. I was there, and the former manager showed up at about 6:15. He thought he would be first, but I was already there. So was my operations manager. We were already waiting for this guy, and so he came in, and we had to be delicate. I mean, it's the gentleman that I had usurped was 20 years older than I was. He was at least 20 years older. I was 28. 28-year-old usurping him. He was 50. I think he was 58, 30 years, 58 years old. And he had been, he was about to suffer a humiliation in front of the office when all the other brokers would come in and go, whoa, he's not there anymore. The manager's sitting over there. Oh, Bruce is over there. Oh, he's back. Oh, Bruce is the manager. Oh, and then everyone would, So the first thing I did is I came up to him. As soon as he came in, I came up to him and I said, "Look, I hope we can work together, and if there's anything I can do to make this easier, And he said, "I appreciate it. We'll figure it out." I said, "Okay." And I left him alone because there was no need for me to. I'm going to tell you how to do this. None of that. I had no right for that. So I called Toronto and I said, hey, listen, I'm kind of curious. How come he's still here? How come you guys didn't kick him out? And the VP said, well, he didn't offer to resign, and we didn't really want to fire him as a salesman. So we just demoted him to a salesman. And if he wants to take it, if he wants to, be known as a guy who used to be the manager and now wants to be a salesman and be, handle, that's his problem. And I thought, well, okay, I think I know what's going on. I'm pretty sure on the weekend he started making phone calls, and all this week he's going to make phone calls. He's going to have meetings with several brokerage firms to basically walk to where he wants to go under the best terms and conditions he can get. And that's likely the plan. And sure enough, about a week later, he came into my office. I think it was a Friday afternoon. He came in after the markets. There was virtually no one left in the office except my operations manager in the back. It was myself. The salesmen were all gone. And he came in. He had left, and he came back, and he was pretty inebriated. And he had built up he had the courage now to talk to me. And I want to talk to you. I said, come on in, man. Anytime, come have a seat. And we're sitting in his office, his former office. And he just tore a strip off of me about stabbing him in the back, and how dare I do such a thing, and blah, blah, blah. And I basically said, look, I understand. I understand how you feel. And I'm sorry you feel that way. But the bottom line is Toronto had made the decision. It wasn't that I initiated your demise. Toronto had decided your days are numbered. And I got the word from sources that you were out. You didn't even know it. And I contacted Toronto to say, I'll come back, but this is how it's going to go. I know whatever I say, you're not going to like it, and you're not going to believe it, but you might find out later from trusted allies of yours in Toronto who'll probably tell you what I'm telling you now, but it's all right. You have every right to vent and go ahead, get it out. I mean, well, I'm going over to so-and-so, and they're going to take good care of me. I said, I'm sure they will. You're a fine salesman. But I didn't say, if you'd only stop drinking. I didn't do that. So I said, take all the time you need. You want to move out today? You want to move out tomorrow on the weekend? You want to be out of here by Sunday? When you're done, hand me your keys. You have a key to the office. You can come and go all you want. We trust you. I have no reason to suspect you're going to sabotage the place. Nothing like that. And the bottom line was my operations manager was going to be there every day anyway. And so this gentleman went back to his office, took care of a couple of things, and he left. And then my operations manager came in and said, "What happened? What did he say?" So we went over the whole play-by-play. And he's just shaking his head. He's going, "Man, that guy has such potential. He's 58 years old. He's been in the business for 20 plus years. He has all these contacts, and he's become an alcoholic. It's really sad." I said, "I know. It's really depressing. But this shows you what can happen to anyone in the business if you let the business get to you in the wrong way." And it beat him up, and it just overpowered him. And he ended up moving, and he went to another competitor. He was just a salesman over there. I happened to bump into him about a month or two later, somewhere in between office buildings. We were walking, we saw each other, shook his hand and chatted. I said, "How are you doing over there?" He says, "What a relief." He says, I only have to worry about my clients. I don't have to worry about the branch. I don't have to worry about head office. I don't have to worry about politics. And I just have to be I said, "It's probably the best thing." So now you can make some serious money. And he loved that I said that to him, that, you got rid of the BS in your life and you can concentrate on your clientele. And I was praying that this move would calm him down with regards to the alcohol. I really don't know how it worked out in the long, long run. But at that point in time, he looked much better, and he was he had color in his face, and he was alive. And I hope for the best for him. And we said our goodbyes. And that was really the last time I sort of physically saw him in a one-on-one setting. And I had my own issues. I had an office that was a basket case. This guy, oh gosh, when I joined the firm 4 years earlier, the office had 15 employees. By the time I took it over, there were 5 left. Everyone had left. Everybody had quit. Even the support staff, they were out of there. And I came in, and I said to my operations manager, I said, "It's you and me and a couple of salesmen and a receptionist. That's all we got." I said, we're gonna change things up around here, and we're gonna make this place smell like a brand new car. I love that expression that one of you gave me here. And so we began the process of hiring the best back office staff money could buy. We started stealing the best cage people, even though we had no salesmen. We had no stock. We were hardly trading stock. There was nobody there. But we set up a back office. And once we got 2 or 3 new people in there, then we had the engine in the back to handle whatever track you wanted to run on. And then I began to look for staff and brokers. And I realized that for the most part, the only salesmen that were going to come to my door to join us were going to be guys that were being asked to leave somewhere else or knew that their days were numbered wherever they were. See, these guys were basket cases. And I really didn't want to have basket cases coming in. And so I was picky as much as I could be picky. And we slowly brought a few guys in here and there. We get approached. I would get approached by 1 or 2 salesmen, maybe 2 or 3 as a group. They'd come to me and they'd say, where we are, we're not happy. This is the kind of business we want to do, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, this is how we run it here. And if you're happy with this due diligence and how we do it, you're welcome to join us. And so within about 6 months, we had about 10 salespeople there. And then from then on, I decided that from now on, I'm only going to bring in people, salespeople that are brand new. I'm going to bring in absolute rookies, even those that have just barely finished the securities course. That's who I'm going to bring in. And so that's what I started to do. I started to hire absolute raw rookies so I could train them from scratch, and they had no bad habits coming in. And my operations manager was so grateful, so happy, because he could train them as well on how the back office affects you and how you are protected by the back office. We're not enemies. We're not trying to stop your clients from doing business, but we want to protect you from doing the wrong kind of securities business. We don't want you to get in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Commission with any legal issues. We don't want you to have customers that don't pay you and all this sort of stuff. So we worked with these new kids. I just started hiring. I'd hire 2 or 3 at a time, and every month or two, another 2 or 3 at a time. And so we were getting to the point where we had 25 people in the office that were in the sales division, of which 10 were fully licensed, 5 were almost licensed, and 10 were in the learning stage. And slowly but surely, within the year, we had 25 brokers that I was managing, and I had 10 support staff, and we had other people coming and going. So at one point, I think we were up to 35, 40 people that I was now handling. And that's how it came together, is that I became a branch manager. And every day I would be there at, about 6:30 in the morning. I'd be in the office. And then Jennifer came with me. She joined the firm, and I had her take the securities course. And then we trained her to be our desk trader, because she had heard from me, and I was a desk trader, so I was training her. And then our operations manager, he and her just got along so well, and she loved it. And she began to build a book of clientele as she was desk trading, which I had done earlier. And after about 1.5 years, she had enough clientele to just be a full-time broker. And so now she's a broker, I'm her manager. And all the guys in the office would go, I want to talk to Bruce, but I want to see what happens. I'll go and talk to Jennifer first. So they would approach Jennifer in the coffee room, and she'd say, don't talk to me. I'm not your boss. He's over there. He's my boss too in this office. Everywhere else, I'm the boss. But in this office, he's the boss. And sometimes it would be a bad idea to talk to Jen, because there would be no mercy from Jennifer at all. And anyway, it was an interesting office, and it was an interesting time. But my operations manager and I, we were together the whole time. We never separated. We worked together. And when I left the brokerage business to start my public company, he and I kept in touch. And 1.5 years, 2 years later, he was branch manager of a firm out of Toronto that wanted to establish a Calgary branch. They already had a Vancouver branch. He became the branch manager of a firm, and I congratulated him, and of course, and we kept in touch on that. And he said to me, when are you going to go public with your company? I said, well, we're hoping in the next 6 months. He said, well, we're going to sponsor your deal. He says, I'm going to be the branch manager that's going to sponsor your deal here. You're going public through us. So with all the salesmen he had, some of which were formerly with me, and others, we took the company public through the firm that he was managing. And we ultimately got listed on the Alberta Stock Exchange. And it's funny how it all comes around. It just, you have these friends over years and years and years, and your paths cross from time to time. And he and I were doing business now as president of a reporting issuer and public company, and he is a branch manager. It was really something else. But he knew my morals. I knew his. He knew that what we were going to do what we wanted to do as a public company. I knew what he was doing as a brokerage firm, and so that's how that kind of came together. Unfortunately, about 2 or 3 years later, the firm he was with, they left Calgary. They abandoned the city during a slowdown period, and he retired from the business. And he ended up actually working for Hoover Canada, the vacuum cleaner company. He was Western Canada manager for Hoover Canada. He was making some good coin. And they asked him to salvage another territory, which is Northern Ontario. It was a basket case. And he went to Northern Ontario and was there for about 1 year. And he was turning that around, because this is the kind of guy he was. And one day he was in his car driving to work, and apparently didn't feel well. He pulled over the side of the road, having trouble breathing, and he passed away. He had a heart attack in his car, and died peacefully. And like a few minutes later, someone stopped and checked on him, because he was kind of slumped over in his car, and he was gone. And we had lost him, and he was about, he would have been about just short of 60, I think. But he lived life to the fullest. He was, I believe he was originally from somewhere in the Caribbean, but I can't remember if it was whether it was Jamaica or whether it was the Dominican Republic. And he was you'd swear he was African American. He had the real dark skin, and if he didn't cut his hair, it would become afro like all by itself. And he just had the most infectious laugh, and he was just the greatest guy. And he and I, we were fast friends. We were good pals, and there were people in the business who were prejudiced against him because of his skin color, and I never forgot who those were. But generally speaking, everyone who knew him loved him. He was just a super guy, and he helped so many of my rookie salespeople become real brokers. He really was instrumental, and he was a real mentor to a number of people with his 30 years brokerage experience. He was an ex Merrill Lynch man from Montreal, and so he and always in the operations. And he and I he would come into my office with a bunch of paperwork like this, stacks, and he said, "I need your autograph like 100 times, and I need you to sign these 20 checks," and I'm signing $2 million checks to buy and sell stock. And he'd double check everything, and we'd go over all the due diligence together. And we ran a clean branch. But I tell you, we lost him early, but he's in my prayers and always in my thoughts. Anyway, the older you get, you have more memories than live friends. That's what happens, kids. You get older, you lose them. So hang on to your most precious people if you can. By the way, our rest in peace, Prince Philip, passed away at age 99. We just heard this morning. Best to him, and we hope all will be well there. I'm sure it will. The family, I'm sure, has had years to prepare for the inevitable because his health had been failing lately. He hasn't been doing much in the way of the public appearances for quite a while. But what a life that man has had. Unbelievable. But at age 99, it is time to go upstairs. And there you have it. Anyway, folks, thank you for being here. We're going to be opening up here shortly. Watching the cruise line shares doing well. I don't know why anyone would want to buy a cruise line stock. I know why people want to buy cruise line stocks. I do know that. But in actual fact, you really don't want to buy a cruise line stock. Not recommended as far as I'm concerned. What can I say? Anyway, thank you everybody for all your wonderful comments. Appreciate this. Appreciate it all. It's very kind of you. Where are we at? 170 on GameStop. Up 34 cents on the morning at 170.60. We open up in about 22 minutes, and we'll see how the markets want to do for us. We, like I say, the Dow is up now 46 points, the S&P down 4.5, and NASDAQ down 89. Oil down 29 cents. The Dow had been running, had a down dip at midnight, and then all morning has been coming on with the futures until about 15 minutes ago. It got higher than this, but it's backed off a bit. Still a gain on the day. We'll see what this is going to do for us. Pre-volume market volume on GameStop is only 89,000 shares. Yesterday at this time, when we were talking about how Ryan Cohen is going to be the chairman of the board, and there are two new board members, we were at 600,000 shares traded in the pre-market, and we were up about $10 a share. This morning we're at 90,000 traded. We're up 2 cents a share to 170.28. So we're not having much happen here. It is a Friday, and that's where we're at right now. Fallen God, thank you for your donation. I'm not crying. You're crying. No, I'm not crying. You're crying. Bruce shows us he's human. That's why we love him. Storytelling. Thanks for keeping life real and keeping us at the edge of our chairs. Thank you, everybody. Again, all of you. Great people make it easy to tell great stories. This guy was really something. I loved it when he was calling me on the QT. He would call me up and say, "Oh, there's something's going on. You got to come back here, man. You got to save this place." I'd say to him, "You just want me to come back to be with you?" He said, "Well, of course. I need you back here, man. I miss you." It was good times, really good times. Lindsay, do you think buying warrants on SPACs like VGAC is a good idea? Do you think that's a good idea? you know, there's nothing wrong with buying a warrant on SPACs, but the thing about them is that they have a limited time frame of existence based upon a couple of factors. One of which is the clock runs out on them as soon as the deal is done and the company is listed as a new entity, but that's to be expected. But then there's apparently in some cases, some of these warrants, there are kickers that come in. Like if the shares rise to a certain level per share or higher over a certain amount of time, your warrant lifespan shrinks dramatically. And now you have to act. You got to sell it or you got to exercise it. I would recommend if you want to play the warrant angle, which is where you're trying to buy leverage against the stock for less than the stock is trading at to hopefully have a gain. Because if the stock goes up, the warrant goes up in value. Usually they're exercisable at 11.50. One warrant plus 11.50 gets you another share. You might be better off, excuse me, you might be better off if you take a look at stock options, call options, that might be, say, July, August, September's, and they're out of the money. Maybe you're looking at 11s or 12s or 13s or 12.50s. You might be able to buy them for less than the cost of a warrant, and you've got certainty for the date this fall for a September contract. Let's say August, September, October, even. Try to find out what you can. Try to find out what you can regarding the cost of a contract, how long you can get one for, what exercise price you'd have to buy it at, and you might be able to leverage a lot more stock that way in a much more liquid market as well, because the warrants won't have a very heavy liquid market and the spreads might be quite wide. So that might be a better move, something to look into. Okay, I hope that helps. Let's see here. Can you talk about the supposed merger vote today for IPOE and what do you think it could do for the stock? All right, are you probably talking to me? You're probably telling me that there's a merger vote happening with regards to the merger of the SPAC and Sofi, is what you're talking about. And if it's IPOE having the vote, I can tell you it's an absolute formality. It'll absolutely happen. There's no doubt about it that it will happen. Like it'll take place, and it will signify, the company's intent that they're going to proceed at full speed with respect to with the merger. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the merger is going through between IPOE and Sofi. I mean, no doubt in my mind. The stock, however, in the pre-market is down 29 cents to 17.85, but I wouldn't worry about that at all. I'm pretty sure that this is a mere formality, and it will go through. And over at Sofi, they've probably already had or are having their shareholder vote to approve the merger deal. Again, these are just formalities as far as I'm concerned, and so it should all go through just fine. That's my take on that. Got a message coming in here from our friend. Hang on a second here. Just double checking here. Something else I want to double check on here. Tony Pickus. Tony is a member of ours. And Tony's been having trouble getting his messages to pop up here on the screen. And I've been digging up my computer. I've been digging up my YouTube account. I cannot understand why his comments won't show up here. Some people are saying, oh, no, I know where to look. I've looked there. We're still trying to figure it out. Anyway, I told him, look, if you want to tell me something, let me know. Just send me a text and I'll talk to you. He says, can you chat a bit on Ryan being chairman of the board? A lot of apes seem to be upset that he won't be CEO. This photo will show them why chairman is a better, superior choice. And then he was showing off an image of the hierarchy of a typical corporation. Here you go, right here. You can see here, chairman is usually at the very top, and then the chief executive is a little below, then VPs, directors, managers, and others. I am very happy that Ryan Cohen is going to be the chairman of the board of the company. I would rather. That's all I want him to be. I want him to be the chairman of the board and nothing but the chairman of the board. I don't want him to be the CEO. You do not want him as CEO. No, you do not, because he now has the freedom to pick a CEO from anywhere in the wide world, and maybe he'll steal a top-notch, high-end exec from a much bigger company to come in here, which could really create another buzz for the stock long term. But on top of that, it allows him to have direct contact with the CEO and all the other department heads, however he wants to set up his organization. Now, his CEO is going to have to agree. If the CEO joins him, the CEO might say, I don't want you talking to any executives, only me, and I'll do all the talking to them. Fair enough. Or it might be by a committee. It might well be that the CEO is quite happy to have Cohen and the CEO talk to all the department heads about what's going on. I don't know. They might be collaborators. This will be interesting to see who Ryan Cohen attracts. He could attract perhaps an individual that he's worked with before, and that individual will say, yeah, I'm quite happy with your hands-on approach because I know that's how you do it, and that's what we did at Chewy together. Fantastic. On the other hand, he may find that he approaches the CEO and the CEO says, I can't do it where you talk to all the other department heads under me. I have to be the guy. Now, if you want something that the COO should know about, or you want something that the head of e-commerce should know about, tell me. Let's just have a coffee together every day, or we have an open line together at all times, and I'll pass on your message. In other words, I'm the bad guy. You're the good guy. I'm the deliverer of the bad news or the good news or whatever it is you want me to tell people. And you'll blame me if it doesn't work out. And I'm accepting that, because as CEO, I'm the guy who gets blamed if the company doesn't work out, because you're the quote, the owner up there. And so I'm happy that he's chairman of the board. I'm very happy. I don't want him to be CEO because then he's dealing with a chairman of the board above him, unless it's himself, and then it's kind of a conflict. And then the street will go, well, the company's not being run well because he's got too many hats. See, it's a no-win. It's a no-win situation. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those, so he has to, I think, stay the chairman and run it from there and handle the board meetings and handle all the inquiries from board members and all of that. And then the CEO and he can form their unique bond and then run this thing. And that would be fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. Someone's asking me, Tony's asking me, do you accept Apple Pay? No, I only accept PayPal. That's I just have PayPal. I don't think I can accept Apple Pay. I'm 99% sure I can. You're talking to a non-technical guy, but PayPal is the way they do it. That you can find in the description down below on any of the videos. Anyway, way to go, GameStop. I say, way to go, Ryan Cohen. You've got a nice small board right now, 6 people. So himself plus 5 others, and he has full support of the board. But do not be surprised if in the next few months, after June 9th, when he assumes control, because it's June 9th, this all starts. So after June 9th, down the road, don't be surprised if new board members come on board from time to time, where they'll make an announcement that they're pleased to announce that so and so has agreed to join the board of directors, and this person is this is the person's name, this is where they're from, this is their background. Do not be surprised if GameStop acquires a company, private company, public company, whatever it is, and the chairman of the board of that company joins the board of this company, or the CEO of that company becomes a board member, or a board member from that company joins it. I mean, there's going to be, I think will be add-ons, but it'll be strategic. And I think we'll all see why. We'll all figure it out very quickly. Oh yeah, I see what's going on. Sure, yeah, he's just picked up this company over here that's into e-sports betting, and one of those people is now on the board of directors of his company. That makes sense. And he just made a deal with this company over here to buy their whatever division or take this private company over, and the president or owner of that private is now on the board of directors of GameStop. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because the new president, the new board member, will help coordinate the merger and make it seamless. It's a friendly deal, and so you hold your enemies close, you see, and you bring your new allies in. And the other thing that can happen is you're taking over a public company, a public company that's out there, and you bring in the heart and soul of that public company, bring that person in as your board member, and that board member now is an ally for your stock because their stock merged into your stock. All their shareholders are now your shareholders, and this individual has all kinds of brokerage connections that they had to be a public company in the first place. Now all those brokerage connections are your brokerage connections through GameStop. And all of a sudden, half of Wall Street that didn't know who you were or didn't know about you or didn't care to know about you, they care to know about you now because you just merged with this public company that they did like or they were following. Now they notice it's all inside the GameStop family, one big happy family. The guys on the board of directors, we still have our contact. We now have a contact with this GameStop company that just swallowed up this public company that we've been following. This is what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to witness. And I am certain that this is a future move coming down the road eventually. This is all happening. Anyway, we'll watch for that. 169.45 on the stock. We're 9 minutes away from the opening of the market today. It is what it is. The Dow is up 48, the S&P down 4, NASDAQ down 82. And it's a Friday, the Friday after Easter. Should it be busy today? Shouldn't, unless something really kooky is going on. But something kooky can always be going on. What will happen with GameStop? What will make GameStop take a shot higher or take a shot lower? The only way the stock's going to drop in price in a dramatic way is if someone messes with it. We've talked about this a million times. On the upside, it's an accumulation of buying versus perceived selling or a lack of pressured selling. And I think that these shares have sort of settled down quite a bit. Certainly on a volume level, they've gotten quiet. And as far as volatility in the last week or so, we haven't seen much of that. And so things are calming down. And I think what we have here is a lack of stock for sale under pressure circumstances. There are very few clients who are financially in trouble and have to sell the stock because they got a problem somewhere else. And that's a good sign. The steady drum of buying that has been coming into the stock from time to time on dips in particular, there's definitely buying here. It gets to the point where the buying pressure is just overpowering the selling pressure by even 4 or 5 percentage points. You have 105 shares wanted for every 100 shares available, or you have 120 wanted for every 100 available over time. It just is always prevailing that way. You will have a market that will just inch higher. And it'll get to the point where the stock will reach a certain point, a certain price point after a few days or a week where there's been a rise in the value of the company to a point where there's now a breakout. You've got a dam breach. That's what it is. The dam is busted open and the buyers are flowing over the dam. And here we go. Same thing on the sell side. You get to the point where the shares come down to a certain point in time, certain resistance level, a certain trading level. And I don't know what it is. You never know what it is until it's too late. You find out, oh gosh, yes, when the stock traded at that price, whatever that price is, after a day or so, that was it. That was the tipping point where the buying now outdid the selling, and whatever selling pressure had come in evaporated, and the buying pressure is building. And now people are sensing, oh gosh, I think I just missed a big secular dip here. I should get in now. It's happened. Looking at the chart is early, but I can sense that this stock is on a beginning of a roll. And those in the know, those on the street, those on the trading desks, on the trading floors, they notice that there's just nothing for sale here for the next $50 a share. There's just nothing out there. And whoever was selling this stock in the last 2 weeks, they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. There just is no availability of stock in a systematic, consistent way. And there's buying building up. You can just see all these buyers, all these open buy orders piling up here every day. There's like 50, 60, 80 buy orders piling up, and they're not getting the stock. They're trying to get it right now. The market's 169.80. They're trying to get it at 166. They're trying to get it at 164. They're trying to get it at 162. There's buyers at 161. There's buyers at all these prices all the way down to $140. There's a zillion buyers. None of them None of them are getting the stock. The only ones who are buying stock and getting any stock are those who are just buying on the offer, because no seller is in a hurry to get out. So you've got to go to the sellers to get them. That's what's going on. That happens in real estate as well. Some of you might have noticed this in the last year or so with real estate rising up. Over the years, you've seen real estate come and go with prices rise and fall. And you realize that, there's a demand for housing for a certain area of the country or a certain city, and there's very few houses for sale. People want to buy a house less than 5 years old. They don't want to have a 20-year-old house with 20-year-old problems. They want to buy a house with appliances that are less than 5 years old. They're looking for the furnace to be less than 5 years old. And there's this huge demand for certain neighborhoods with amenities and, new traffic systems and everything else. And there's 10 buyers for every seller. And a house gets listed, and within a week it's gone. And the sellers are getting multiple offers from multiple buyers because of the insatiable demand. Well, this happens in the stock market. It's just that it happens in a microsecond. It happens like right now. It happens. It doesn't take sometimes a month to take place. But what can happen over a month is that buying is coming into the stock because people are sensing positive moves that they keep hearing about, and they keep saying to themselves, I might want to buy this stuff, but I'd like to kind of get it at its low of the year or the low trading range. And after a while, they begin to get the impression that I don't think there's going to be a much lower trading range than we've already seen. We may have already seen the low for this stock for quite some time. And the immediate run up on the stock could be so juicy that I could buy it here at 169.50. And if it goes to 199.50, I've made $30. That might be all I want out of this trade. On the other hand, people are going, I like the GameStop for the next year or so because of all the moves that are being done here behind the scenes and what we noticed with regards to the board of directors and Ryan Cohen. This entry point of 169.50 might be the entry point for me to step in here. And now I don't care what it does. I'm just going to buy this stock and I'm going to put it into my account. And now I'm going to go back to work and I'm going to just go about my business because I've got these shares in my account, and that's the end of that. I'm not going to care about the minute-to-minute trading. If it goes to 300 a share, I'll hear about it because everyone will be talking about it. But if it meanders along between 169 and 175 for a while, or down to 162 to 69 to 175, I don't care. I've got it, I own it, and I'm done because I'm not interested in getting out if it goes down to 160 a share, or I'm not interested in getting out if it goes to 180 a share. I'm here for a much longer hold for a much higher payoff. And I'm waiting for the annual meeting, and I'm waiting to see what other deals are going to put together. I'm waiting to see for the first quarter financials that'll come out next month, and the second quarter financials and 3 months later. I want to see the progress of this company as it keeps moving forward, and I'm in here for a much larger return than just 5 or 10%. And that's what happens. That's how these things go. You get holders of stock coming in that don't want to resell it. And that's the problem for day traders and shorters. They're hoping for turnover so they can get in and out at a moment's notice easily without too much muss or fuss. And when they realize, gosh darn it, there's to buy 100,000 shares of this thing, I might move it $30 a share. It's that thin now on the sell side. That's when stocks move. And when they move quickly like this to a certain new level. They solidify there and then they go up again. Because again, the sellers just do not congregate. They don't come in bunches anymore. There might have been a time where you could have attracted 100,000 shares of selling with a $5, $8 move. Now it might take $20, $25 to move it to get that kind of paper. And then you want that much more? It's up another 25, $30. After a week or two or three, you're sitting at 275 a share going, geez, it was just 169 just this last month. Why didn't I get in on this? Look at what's done. That's how it goes. So welcome to the market. 107,000 volume on GameStop now with a minute to go before we open the day. The Dow with a minute to go up 55. S&P down 3. NASDAQ down 81. So let's see how the market wants to start the day for us as we get ready to trade on the market. We're at 169.94 approximately on the pre-market of GameStop. And let's see if we can get an opening trade and see what it wants to do. Maybe it'll go right through 170. That was easy. Let's see if it wants to do that. 169.79. We're getting ready for the bell to go here on the markets, and let's see what we start off with here. Anytime we will begin to trade. We're just about we're right about there, waiting for the opening on the markets. Waiting. Okay, we're open. We're up and running. The Dow's up 57. S&P up was up 17, now down a point, and NASDAQ up 140, now down 41. Okay, these are yesterday's prices. Sorry, just watching for the reload. It's coming through here. 168.34 on GameStop. Looks like we are open on volume of 189,000 shares. Very quiet opening this point. Let's keep an eye on this. 168, 167, 70, 168. Watching the first moments of trading coming through on GameStop. And everybody else, we are talking about a mixed opening here on the market. The Dow up 70, S&P up a half a point, NASDAQ down 41. And we now have GameStop at 168.91, almost at 169. 205,000 shares traded on GameStop. 168.91, down $1.35 at this moment in time. Now we're showing it higher at 169.50. We might go through 170 here on a little momentum move. We'll watch that. 213,000 volume. There isn't much to get excited about here, folks. It is very calm, very quiet at this point. AMC at 971, down 8 cents. Vector Acquisitions down 8 cents. Nav Site Holdings up 4 cents. IPOE down 27 cents. Gores Holding down a dime. VG Acquisition down 4 cents. Starboard down a penny. Fortress down 2 pennies. Waiting for the markets to settle in and start trading here. 226,000 volume on GameStop at 169-ish a share as we jump about all around 168.50 to 169.90, kind of in that neighborhood right now. Waiting to see how the market wants to play it. The Dow up 77, S&P up a quarter of a point. Nothing happening. The NASDAQ down 49 points. Oil down 11 cents. GameStop now 168.79. Total volume 238,000. We are. That's it. 250,000 shares. Pretty well. That's all we got on the opening. 169 on GameStop now. And AMC at 968, and that is a dime off the low. It started at 958 first trade, 1.1 million on AMC. AMC 968, GameStop 169 a share, and it is jumping about. All right, let's see what happens. What's going on, everybody? Welcome all of you to the channel and hanging out with Uncle Bruce this morning as we follow the markets in plain English as best we can to see what we're going to see, what we're going to experience for a Friday, April the 9th, 2029. 167.75 on GameStop right now. Dow now up 92, S&P up a point, NASDAQ down 56. The mixed start to the day. And GameStop volume now 270,000. Very quiet. By this point yesterday, we were over 2 million. We had a 2 million share start on the news of Ryan Cohen taking over the board as the chairman on June the 9th. And today, it's the day after the news. The news is out. There's no urgency for people to get in. They don't feel they have to buy this stock right now at any price. The sellers might be people who are frustrated that wanted a pop on the board announcement right up to the $200, $250 range, and they're not getting it this minute. And so they're taking their exit. But they will run out of bullets as soon as these sellers get off the stock they want to get off. There could well be a dearth, a lack of product available, and that gets, again, interesting. Does that happen today? Does that happen Monday? Does it happen next Thursday? Don't know, but at the moment, 168.25 is the last trade, down $2.11 on 306,000 shares as we get about 1/3 shares through the system. And sellers get out. Buyers are taking the positions over, and we'll see if the shares thin out on the sell side, and we begin to pop up. The low of the day on GameStop, 167.51. Not much of a range. The high is officially is 169. Really, there's an artificial trade of 185, which I don't think is actually right. 170 for the high, approximately 167.50 for the low. This is a 250 range. We've got very little activity here. 169 right now on the stock. And now it's back to 168.36. So it is just jumping about. AMC, as I said before, AMC 961 down 18 cents a share. AMC is still running into the issues that we've talked about before. Unfortunately for AMC shareholders, there are over 400 million outstanding now. These 420 million shares that exist instead of 107 million shares that exist. That is a 400% increase in the number of shares trading hands for AMC, and 500 million more will be authorized to be issued if and when the company sees fit to do so, with a shareholder vote coming up. And so the likelihood of AMC shares having more than 500 million out is very high. We just hit 170 on GameStop. We're over 170.
That was easy.
That was easy. We got through 170, no problem whatsoever. I feel like I'm Kramer with my own little button here. Anyway, there you go. You like that one better than this one? This one's annoying. That was easy. It seems simpler. We're back under 170, the 169.95 as we're jumping about here. Volume on GameStop now that it reached back to the 170 level, 393,000. So, 30,000, 40,000 shares ago, we were at 168.36. Now we're at 393,000. We're at 170.04. We're now approaching 171 actually. So it didn't take much. Whatever little selling came in, dipped the stock a couple of bucks a share. Now we're about to reach 171, and it's up 50 odd cents a share on less than 400,000 volume. So the buying keeps coming. That's the point of it all. There's this buying wave of interest from a lot of small investors who are just slowly but surely going to keep picking this stock up, and they will eventually overrun the sellers. The sellers will be, they panicked out, they got sold out, they were frustrated, they were upset, they're impatient, they're out, and that they'll be gone, and that's the end of them. And now you get the continual nibbling of the stock that will just continue on and on and on. And we're in this 170 range right now. And, the shares will trade today, 4 million, 6 million, 8 million. Who knows? Unless a major announcement is made, we'll see. But we're at 170.48 right now, up 22 cents. AMC 960 down 19 cents. All right. On the SPAC front, Vector Acquisitions up a nickel. NAV site has now turned even. It's unchanged. The folks at IPOE, that's Social Capital, that's going to become Sofi. They are down 35 cents to 17.79. They were lower to 17.61. They've now bounced back to 17.79. And I think from what I'm gathering, the folks at the SPAC will hold their shareholder meeting to approve this deal probably today or at any time. So this should go through no problem. Gores Holdings down 15 cents. VG Acquisition, that's Virgin, with Richard Branson, down 2 cents, and Starboard Value down 1 penny. Fortress Value down 3 pennies. The Dow is now up 118. That's a good move for the Dow to start. S&P up 1.7 and NASDAQ down 72. VanEck Vectors Semiconductor ETF is down 249 to 254 a share. In the last few days, it did reach the 256, 57 range. But in the last 3 months, they were as low at 216. They're now 254. And I think they are going to go much, much higher in this next year. The computer chip shortage, if you haven't heard about it, or you probably have heard about it, you might not be aware that now multiple Ford and General Motors plants have to shut down because of computer chip shortages. This is spreading out as a bigger and bigger and bigger problem. We already knew that there were computer chip shortages for the GameStop consoles, the Sony PlayStation 5. They were having trouble getting chips into their machines. Over at Microsoft with the Xbox, they were having issues there. We are hearing other manufacturers with issues regarding the chip shortage. The White House is aware of it. They're trying to fund a chip manufacturing revival and expansion in the USA through the infrastructure bill. They were hoping that through the infrastructure bill, they could add on about 60 billion to this feature, because this would create really good paying jobs in the US. I mean, you want to talk about engineering chip production and the factory workers inside these chip factories, really good paying gigs. And if you can attract tens of thousands of American jobs to the United States in this sector, it is an investment worth making. Absolutely. The neighborhoods all around these factories, within 15, 20 miles of all of these plants that produce these high-end chips, you got well-paid employees with benefits and perks. The car dealers pop up, the shopping malls pop up, the service sectors pop up. I mean, it's just a huge economic free-for-all when you get these kinds of high-paying jobs coming into the U.S. And the U.S. government has made it be known they are open for business for factories that will produce high-end chips, because this is what the economy is run on. I mean, every facet of the economy needs to have powerful chips in their computer systems and inside items like refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, cars, and everything else electronic. You got to have it. So we'll see. As I say, Vanek Vectors, 253.88. That is an entity you can buy for the long term and enjoy a nice game. Home Depot up 323, new high, 317 or approaching a new high. IBM at 135, up 31 cents. The Dow now is up 140 points. Microsoft only down a quarter after a big run, and Apple only down 54 cents this morning. There is no pressure on these big tech stocks at all. Tesla's down $7, no big deal there. Bed Bath & Beyond up 16 cents to $29.79. Can it break 30 is the question we are always asking here. BlackBerry at $9.32, down 11 cents. On the cruise side, Royal Caribbean down 31 cents, Norwegian up 12, and Carnival up 55 cents. A mixed market on the cruises. That's where they're at right now. Amazon down $2.31 to $3,296. Looks like Amazon is going to win this union vote in Alabama, the one that we were talking about, I think it was yesterday, that the union vote is not likely to succeed, which will give pause at Amazon. They'll exhale. Dodged another one. It's only a matter of time that this will come back. The problem or the reality for Amazon and other employers is you've got to make the workplace so positive. You've got to make it very positive that no union will want to try to even set up, because they know they can't make it. There's no way they can get even anywhere near half the vote. Amazon still has the perception problem of being a workplace that's great for some, but not for all. And so this problem is solved for the moment. They've defeated the movement at this time, but the problem is still there. The ongoing battle continues, and we'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. Now, while I'm yapping away, GameStop got to 170, but now it's back to 167.77. It backed off here. It is now volumed. The volume now for GameStop is 575,000 shares on the day. So we've had about 180,000 shares come through. We've had a straight down drop, just a knife edge, straight down to 167.61. 167.04 was the low. It's now 168.34. So we obviously had about 150 to 200,000 shares of selling come in an awful hurry. And again, I question, why would anyone with 200,000 shares want to dump their market by $3 a share, costing themselves $600,000 in losses by violently selling off a stock that had been tracking higher? Makes no sense. As any investor knows, that's not how you do it. If you want to sell shares, even if you're losing money, you don't lose more by crashing a market. That makes no sense at all. And so the shares did reach 167.04. They're now at 168.01. That's where I see the market at this moment. The last trade of the moment. Volume now 591,000 shares, and we're about $1 above the low of the day from where I can see it. as I sense it. That's where we're at. The AMC down 14 cents to 964. The Dow up 112, S&P up 4, NASDAQ down 51. NASDAQ's getting better. It was down 100. It's getting better, but the other two markets are definitely in the positive at the moment. GameStop now 167.78, 74 cents away from the low of the day. Now back up to 168.29, pop back up again. We'll see what this little battle is. Is this just a temporary war, or is this going to be a long-term, drawn-out, ugly day, or are we seeing a little sell and now we're going to see a run? I don't know. We'll follow it. Comments from all of you out there. Thank you for being here today and hanging out with me. Y2 is saying, Bruce, could the squeeze begin and end in a pre-market or after hours trading, causing most of us to miss out on the squeeze? Well, the reality is you could have a squeeze going on and it's raging in the pre-market. And if the shares went from 165 a share to $250 a share in the pre-market, they're not going to open up on the New York Stock Exchange at 165. I mean, if you've got hundreds of thousands or millions of shares trading in any stock in a pre-market, it's going to continue on in the actual market. It'll continue on there. So you have every opportunity to sell stock at 250 or 275 or whatever it topped out at, if that was indeed the top. Now, it can happen that no trading in the pre-market to get excited about. Okay. And light trading during the market. Okay, we see that. And then in the aftermarket, all hell breaks loose. The stock goes nuts. That can happen. And on a Friday, like today, by the way, today is option expiry day. Don't forget that today. You could have, the stock trading in the aftermarket go up $50 a share. And then Monday morning, it could be back to where it was at the close on Friday, and then open up on the day with not much action. But that's unusual and that's rare. And stocks don't have 2-hour short squeezes. Doesn't work that way. A short squeeze will involve, in the case of GameStop, would involve tens of millions of shares, hundreds of customers on each side of the argument, or more, and every brokerage firm involved all over the place. And this would not be a 2-hour window. This would be days or weeks of battling, which we saw in January, and could see again. 166.52, new low for the day on GameStop. 166.52. The volume now 962,000 shares. I'm sorry, 692,000 shares. 692,000 shares. Way under 1 million shares. We're 13 minutes into the day, or 18 minutes into the day, and we're just not seeing heavy volume, but we are seeing a definite drop of the stock from that high of 171 or so, or 170, roughly 171 a share. 166.82 on GameStop at the moment. It's down 344 a share. This is such a small loss, 2%. It is it's not pleasant to watch it go down, but the amount that it's going down is nothing. I mean, we've seen $50 drops in 5 minutes. This is not happening here. It is trickling. Now at 166, this range, there's probably a lot of folks nibbling up this stock with buy orders who figured out, as I've been saying, don't try and buy it at 165, because that's a nice round number. There could be a bunch of orders there, but there's likely a bunch of orders at the 165.50, 165.80, 166.10, 166.50 range. And stock is coming in from time to time, hitting the 166 level, but then bouncing up, and then it comes back down, it gets filled, it bounces back up. There might be a wall of buying that will overpower the stock for a while. But on the other hand, if an additional wave of selling is coming in, whether it's official, unofficial, actual stock, shorting stock, artificial stock, synthetic stock trading, whatever it is, that could affect it. Now, today is option expiry day. So any contract trading, any call contract trading at 165 or lower right now is in the money. Any contracts trading at 170 or higher are out of the money at this moment in time, because the stock is at 167. And so this is the battle we're going to watch. If the shares go up today to 200 a share, all call contracts expiring today up to 200 would be in the money. On the other hand, if it goes down to 130, if the shorters try to run it down, really take a run at this thing, that would put fewer contracts in the money tonight. This is another battle that's raging right now. 167.29 on the last trade of this stock, a 166.26 low of the day. Volume now 741,000 shares. So we've got volume coming in to a degree, but not mega volume, not at all. And we're at 167.16, down $3.10 a share at the moment. AMC 960, down 19 cents, having a worse day. Not looking good on AMC. Red across the board right now on all the SPACs that I'm following. Home Depot is up $3, IBM up 7 cents, Microsoft up 43 cents, Apple up 20. They've both gone positive now. Tesla down 5.25. That's what we're showing here on this market in the first 15, 20 minutes. This is what we got, and we're going to follow it and try to explain it to you in plain English what's going on. GameStop now 168.22, down only $2. Little rebound underway right now on the stock. We'll see what kind of staying power it has as we watch a mixed market begin our day. Okay, there you go. Let's go here. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and I appreciate that you're here. Let's see. Irish Cowboy, I really hope the infrastructure bill expands fiber internet rollouts to more neighborhoods. Everyone around us has had it for 5 years. What do we got? AMC has been calling and emailing me forms. GameStop should do the same. That will probably come up as we get closer to the annual meeting. That's in June, though. GameStop is selling the next generation consoles as bundles only, adding about 200 or so to each sale. Sucks for console buying, but great for shareholders. Great for the bottom line of the company. I think it's a brilliant move. There, you can't get the consoles in easily anywhere else. So why not offer the consoles with bundles and maximize your profit from a captive audience? I think that's a smart move. Absolutely. Thumbs up for Bruce. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's get to 1,000 likes for Bruce right now. How are we doing on the likes? We got 792 thumbs ups. Appreciate that very much, everybody. We've got a 31 on the downside right now. So at the moment, we're at about, what is that? About 25, 26 to 1. 800 on the upside now, 30 on the down. So we're almost at 30 to 1 on the thumbs up ratio. Keep those coming. 822 on the thumbs ups, 858. I think we're on our way to 1,000 thumbs ups in an awful hurry. We have 3,400 of you here, and we just hit 900 on the thumbs ups. I should hit 1,000 in just a minute. And we got 36 on the downside. So we're going to be about 30 something to 1 in a moment. 950 on the upside right there. And now we have 966. They're coming in. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the thumbs up button, getting us to right there. 1,000 thumbs ups and counting and climbing with 37 on the downside. So we're about 30 to 1 or so, maybe not quite, 28 to 1 on versus up versus down. Thank you, everybody, for helping out, getting us over the hump here. This is beautiful. I appreciate it very much. The stock of GameStop right now is 167.45, down 281. And the volume on GameStop at this point in time, 839,000. We still have not hit a million volume. And it has been 23 minutes, not even a million shares. That is a sign that not a lot of stock is coming in here for sale, even if it's been pushed down by some of the hedge fund traders who are short this stuff. They're not getting very far with this at all. Also, Boeing today announced that they're recalling some of their jets, or they're basically saying to some of their airline customers, don't fly some of the 737 MAX planes that we've issued you. We have found a couple of electrical problems in our deck at the front of the plane, and we're going to resolve that for you. So just hang tough. So a couple of technical reports coming out on the MAX jet. We'll watch that closely. Dow is now up 114 points. The S&P 500 is up 6 points approximately. NASDAQ now only down 38. It was down over 100. So the market is coming back on here across the board. It's only a matter of time at this pace where the NASDAQ will turn to the green side. And we'll see how it wants to go. 167.90 odd for GameStop, almost 168. as it tries to eke out a gain here. Still the low of the day, 166.26 on GameStop. That's only $1.50 ago, $1.30 ago. So that's, we're in the neighborhood of the low. 856,000 shares as we watch the stock try to mount a rally, or what is it going to do? We'll see what's happening. Here we go. Employees voted down the union vote for Amazon. Dental plan, daycare, and Lisa needs braces. All kinds of concerns over there. Let's go. What else is going on? And thank you, everybody. Still trading hurts and making money. Sorry for this, Uncle Bruce, but don't disown me. Hey, make all kinds of money. Get rich, please. Please get rich. If it works for you, do it. These plane issues, they just keep on coming. These 737 MAX plane issues, they keep coming. 168.15 on GameStop, down $2 now. 3M finally pushing to the next level. There is no shame in making money. That's true. Let's go. Rock on. I feel like getting rich, someone's saying. Let's go. No volume on GameStop today. That's true. What else are we going on here? What's going on? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate your comments. 168 on GameStop. Volume now. Have we hit 1 million yet? Nope. 870,000. That's all. Very quiet. AMC 962.18 cents on AMC, the low of 955, 3.19 million. Dead quiet on AMC. There's no buy wave coming in here of any significance. It's down 18 cents at 962, unfortunately. What else? The Dow up 92, S&P up 5. This is what we're looking at. It's a Friday. I'm not expecting a lot of volume today overall. We're not expecting a lot of news overall. What we are waiting for in the markets as a whole is estimates. We're looking for, we are looking for analysts next week to start coming out with estimates of earnings for the second quarter and the third quarter and the fourth quarter for publicly traded companies, especially the big ones. The market is asking and wants companies to start forecasting their earnings growth. The market wants to know, what does Pepsi think they're going to be doing? What does McDonald's think their numbers are going to be like? What about Burger King? What about Disney and Apple and all the others? They all want forward guidance coming out. Now, they're either going to get it from the companies themselves, or they're going to get it from analysts who are going to guess what the companies are going to do. And the street will trade on that news either way. So it behooves the public company, if you have a pretty good indication of what you think you're going to be doing as far as cash flow and earnings, you ought to release this information, because you don't necessarily want this analyst or that analyst giving you numbers that are, way inaccurate, way too high, way too low. You might want to be in the middle of it. But companies have been reluctant to talk about earnings estimates lately because of the lockdowns, the inconsistent state versus state situations. What was happening in New York is not happening in Florida. What's happening in Minnesota is not happening in Texas. And so there's a lot of this uncertainty right now has been overshadowing the market, yet companies have come up with results, pretty good results, all in all. Some not so good, some very good. And so the street now wants more evidence and more of a more actual guidance that they can live off of and trade off of. And that's what the street is looking for. The Dow is up 89, S&P up 6, NASDAQ down 32. Mixed markets means the markets are not sure what to think, what to wonder, and that's not good. All right, let's see what's happening. What else is going on? Thank you, everybody, for popping in. We got people happy about some shares out there, and what's going on. Someone's thinking that the shares of GameStop will run parallel with Tesla for now the end of the year. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, everyone has their opinion, I suppose. Here we go. If the price drops dramatically with low volume on selling, would the price rise just as dramatically with low volume on buying? Yeah, that can happen. I've seen stock over the years where, the stock trades so many shares a day on average, and then for like a month, it trades a triple average. And I've seen it where a company releases their financials for like a third quarter or something like that, and then the street doesn't like it, isn't wild about it. They don't despise it, but they're not like over the moon happy. And the shares pick up volume because you've got a rotation of shareholders in and out. So you get people who want to get out, and you've got management of the company trying to get people to get in because they think that the stock will have the company on better days, and that they're going to do they're going to do the best they can to go out on television and tell the world how great things are going to be, even though there are shareholders who want to sell. And you've got this Mexican standoff. You've got increased volume, buying being brought in, but selling coming in because there's a group that want out. And you got this big turnover that can take a month to finish it off. And after a month, the sellers finally run out of stock to sell. They're not shorting, they're just selling what they had. And the buyers got it all, and they're now holding it and digesting it. And then the company works feverishly for months to convince the new buyers, you made the right decision. We're on our way. Wait for our next quarter. It's going to be great. And speculators are everywhere. And this is how a market really works. I mean, this is how markets trade. You got people who are believers and those who have given up. They don't believe anymore. And this is the constant back and forth. And when a stock takes off, you got people filled with regret. Why did I sell it? And when a share goes down, you got people filled with regret. One, why didn't I sell it? And two, why did I buy it at those levels? It's much lower now. That's how this works. This is mental torture. This is warfare. This is psychological warfare being played on every stock, every day, every trade, because there's always one person on one side and one person on the other, and everyone has a good reason to buy or sell. Sometimes sellers are just saying, I don't hate the company. I just made a ton of money. I bought this at here and it's now up here. I'm going to sell some at a profit. I'm a happy investor and I still love the company. On the other side, the buyer's going, you're an idiot for wanting out. I'm getting in because I think it can go much higher, or it hasn't topped out yet, and I like what I see, or I think what I know is more than what you think you know. And so you get both sides of the argument all the time. And the broker sometimes hears both sides of the story. During the day, in the morning, you hear from investors who own stock that want to get out. And in the afternoon, you hear from investors who are dying to get into the same stock you were dumping this morning from other shareholders, other viewers, but clients. And you're wondering, why are these clients selling and why are these clients buying, and they don't know each other? What is being talked about out on the street with this stock? And sometimes as brokers, you're just fulfilling an order that the client has given you. This is what I want to do. All right, well, that's what you want to do. I'll do that for you. And you're making a commission as the broker. And you're hoping that the stock, if it goes up, that the sellers who sold won't blame you for not letting him, for holding him off. And you're hoping that if the shares do go down later, that the buyers who bought today won't be mad at you because the stock went down and you didn't talk them out of not buying. Sometimes you can't win. Sometimes you can win. And sometimes you're just filling orders and doing the best you can. You remind the client, you're the one who told me to buy this stuff. Why did you buy it again? What did you hear? Where did you hear it from? That's how the market works. $170 a share on GameStop at this second. Now it's $169.92. It's just jumping around. It's down 26 cents on the day at $170 a share. This is an improvement from the low of the day, 166.26. The volume of 1,080,000 is the day's volume. We finally broke a million. It took 34 minutes to break 1 million shares of volume on GameStop. 34 minutes to get 1 million shares. That's quiet. And it is now at 170, and it looks like maybe and possibly that sell wave is over. And now we'll see if the buy wave continues to come in. Will the shares begin to trickle higher? And if so, how much higher can they go? This is how all this happens to play itself out. The Dow up 94, S&P up 7, Nasdaq down 25. Nasdaq keeps coming up. It's only down 25, but it's not a hurry, get in at all costs kind of a market. It's a slow, steady, slight increase here and there, with some decreases here and there. There are times where markets can go up, but a lot of stocks can go down because you're into a reallocation trade, they call it a reallocation trade, where people are getting out of high growth stocks and are getting into value stocks, the kind of stocks that pay a very high dividend. Like IBM can be a high tech stock one day and a value stock the next day because IBM pays a good dividend and as a cash generator. So IBM is attractive to pension funds and to seniors who want income. Then a week later, IBM is attractive to growth investors because they feel that IBM going into the cloud like they have will continue to grow their cloud presence and that their company will be worth far more money with the kind of clientele they're attracting into their cloud services. And so now you have this secondary group buying IBM. They don't care about the dividend all that much. They'll take it, of course. But really what they're after is they love the growth prospects because IBM for decades has not been a growth-oriented kind of company. And so you get this kind of a market. Same with Microsoft. Microsoft has been a steady Eddie kind of a holding for mutual funds forever and pension funds and others. but Microsoft also is trying to grow itself, and it's got new management. They're much more aggressive to grow the company than in the past. So it's going through a new phase. And this is reminding people of what Microsoft used to be like under Bill Gates in the early days. It was a growth-oriented company gaining more and more software market share. Apple, it goes through its phases as well. It's a company that is solid as a rock with a reputation. They come up with new products yearly, upgrades all the time, and more and more income coming from the software side than the hardware side. That income level is growing dramatically on the software side, or services side, we call it. So Apple goes with these trends as well. Right now, Apple's up 44 cents to $130.80. So we're looking at right now. Tesla is pure growth. Tesla is in the pure growth side right now and will be for a while yet, because obviously with two factories under construction, one in Berlin and one in Austin, Texas, adding to the Shanghai factory, the Fremont, California factory, and the factory in the desert in Nevada, the battery plant. You got two new factories being built on top of the three he's got. This is a growth-oriented company, and will be such for another decade at least. It'll take a long time for Tesla to, quote, mature out into a steady kind of a scenario, which is what GM did over the years. Ford did it, Chrysler did it, but this company is nowhere near that mode at this point. You're going to see the pickup truck coming out, being built in Austin. You're going to see possible development of the trucks, the big transport trucks. More of those will come out. Then you're going to likely see products like RVs, perhaps, where they may design chassis for RV builders like Winnebago or Ithaca or the other big brands of RV manufacturing, where the body will be added to the chassis of a Tesla chassis. The drivetrain will be all Tesla, the batteries all Tesla. On the other hand, you may find that Tesla makes a deal with one of the RV manufacturers and buys them out. They buy them, and they literally will convert their plant away from the diesel production of RVs into electric. That could happen. So there could be Class C's, Class B's, and Class A electric Tesla RVs. Now, this could be 5-10 years down the road. I mean, I'm talking the future, McFly, the future. There's no end to it. School buses, Tesla school buses, or delivery vehicles, all FedEx trucks could become Teslas, or all UPS trucks, or U.S. Postal Service, or um, um, you name it. I mean, you may find that they make a deal with Domino's, they make a deal with Little Caesars, make a deal with Pizza Hut, that all vehicles will now be Tesla delivery style vehicles, which might be miniature panel van type units, or they might get into the kind of panel vans that you see every plumber in the world is using, an electrician is using, independent contractor. That might be a Tesla future area that they go into. There's no limit to the areas that Tesla can continue to expand into for a lot of us to follow, to watch. Motorcycles. What's going to happen with motorcycles going forward? Will it become very difficult to license a gas burning motorcycle in the next 5 years because of global warming? Will it have to be electric? Will that be the new trend? Will it be very expensive to drive a gasoline-powered car when electrics are available from almost all manufacturers, including, of course, Tesla? This is the changes that we have to watch for, and we'll see where it kind of leads us. 169.62 on GameStop. Wonder if now 170 again. I wonder if the day will come that there's a deal between GameStop and a car company, maybe Tesla, maybe not. That all vehicles have these game systems built in that GameStop provides. That GameStop will be the provider of the new games for Tesla, or does Tesla deal directly with gaming companies, which they could well do, cut out the middleman? I don't know. Time will tell. Does GameStop buy up game manufacturers, actual manufacturers of games and creators of games? And go vertical. They not only make the games, they design the games, but they also retail the games. They digitally sell them. They sell them on e-commerce, and they sell them in discs, all kinds of versions. They cover it all, and they make deals with car companies for that backseat computer that the kids are playing on the back seat or in between the back seat. Will be loaded up with GameStop merchandise as part of your new car purchase. Could it be that when you buy a new car, you have a $75 credit with GameStop e-commerce to download games into your car, and after you download the second or third game, you're paying them money? Could that be it? Or could it be that you have a fee that you pay every year to GameStop? And I'm wondering about this not for cars. I'm wondering about this not just for cars, but for everything. Could it be that there'll be an annual fee that you'll pay GameStop for unlimited downloads of all kinds of games and titles for a year at a time? And then you renew your membership, and out comes a whole bunch of new games that first month of your new membership. You have availability to all kinds of games on an annual basis. You don't have to buy games. You just lease them, or you lease to use during the year. Could it be that certain games cannot be ever purchased, can only ever be leased only through a provider like a GameStop or organization, which will also coordinate global tournament play for these games as they come out and get distributed to members only? That could be a recurring income for GameStop that would be second to none. If you get 100 million people paying GameStop $50 a year, $1 a week, you're bringing 100 million a week into the company. 100 million people, $1 a week, $100 million a week coming into GameStop. What's that? $5 billion. It's a ton of money coming into the company to give them access to digital product, perhaps discounts on merchandise, being that you're a holder. You might pay a $50 upfront fee to be a basic participant in GameStop's system, but you might be paying $99 a year to be a silver member. And at $199 a year, $200 a year, you're a platinum member of the GameStop family, and that gives you, access to $100 of the merchandise, which of course costs GameStop less than $100 to provide to you, and then gives you virtual access to all kinds of virtual games, new product lines, who knows what, certain tournaments you have automatic entry into, all kinds of potential for GameStop to develop out their website and their future participation participation with global gamers who will all want into the GameStop ecosystem and will pay to do it rather than have free access. They'll pay for even more access. And that makes me wonder, boy, if these guys can bring in 5 billion a year or more, maybe 10 billion a year, 15 billion a year, just from the access into their website, they have the kind of money to buy all kinds of digital game manufacturers, creators, to put them in their family. So, you're buying into an annual pass to get into GameStop through your phone, through your tablet, through your computer at home. And that gives you the right to download games that they have made by their own subsidiary companies. That's a whole different ballgame. Lots of potential here. Lots of potential. I'm just spitballing with you, though. I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to hear your thoughts on a lot of this. GameStop, they're just warming up the rockets, Bruce. That's just all they're doing right now. GameStop has $5 shirts. Pick them up. Let's go. GameStop will have a digital subscription content component. This is the way. Monthly game boxes sent to your door with swag and digital codes, remembers only events, early access. Yep. I just see this. I see this direction. I sense it. I can smell it coming. I don't think anything on the New York Exchange is a penny stock, except thanks to the pandemic. Naked was high before 2020 and are also doing e-commerce thing with GameStop showing the way. Others will follow. We'll see. Bruce needs to be on the board of directors. The only penny stock I like is a Canadian company called Zinc 8. I think they'll eventually get listed. Cheeto, to play the squeeze, assuming it happens by the 20th of April, would it make sense to buy an April 23rd $690 call for $160, $16 a share? If it squeezes, you'd make a fortune. I would not be a buyer of a $690 call expiring April 23rd for any stock whatsoever when the stock is at 169.75. Not a chance, because even if there's a squeeze and it goes to 300 a share, 350, which, in most circumstances, people would be delighted with that as a starter. Your contracts are still 300 out of the money, and if you are seeing this between now and later this month, your contracts won't even be at $16, $160 a share, $160 a contract. I would not be buying that contract. I'd be a seller of that contract. I'd be taking the $16 a share. I'd be taking it, and knowing I'm going to get exercised at $690 on top of that. I could live with myself if I own the stock and wrote that contract. But I wouldn't be the buyer of that contract. No way would I be the buyer of that contract. Colin, sorry, the current price drop. I said something about it going up, so it's pretty much my fault. I'll stay quiet for a while. We'll see if it goes back up. 169.86 down 40 cents. No big deal. GameStop should merge with Nintendo. Nintendo wouldn't allow it. Nintendo does not need GameStop, so it won't happen. Nintendo is owned by the same Japanese family since like 1880. Does anyone know when the third GameStop financial hearing is scheduled for? You talk about the congressional thing, the Congress thing? I don't myself know. Does anyone know the congressional thing? Game from anywhere up to 10 teraflops of processing power enables in-car gaming on par with today's newest consoles. Wireless controller compatibility lets you game from any seat. Going to be interesting to see what happens with this business. This is from Tesla website for Model 5. Just buy the stock. Jazzle's best. A merger with a specific gaming company like Nintendo would be the wrong move. GameStop needs good relationships on all platforms. Nintendo would subcontract things out and take as much credit for it as possible. Let's see here. Keith should be hired, and the European website should be up and running too. Talk about Keith Gill. Hire Keith Gill, and they should up the European website as well. Well, lots of upside, lots of things coming. I think a ton of things coming up here. Give Bruce a thumbs up, everybody. If Nintendo could have a controlling say over GameStop's philosophy, possibly, it would be great to see a Japanese philosophy of family orientation drive an American company. Don't know if that'll ever happen. Calls that date with $200, $250 strike prices are $400 to $600 each. Better bets. I tell you, I would be a writer of contracts to take in those kinds of dollars. That's what I would be doing. But anyway, what can I say? And Wolfgang, do you buy an out of the money call or an in the money put? I'm just learning about options this week. American companies like to maintain their independence, which is fine. That's true. And let's go. Hello, fellow kids. What's the opposite of progress? Congress. I've only sold covered calls, says Matt. No clue besides that it's something you would look at the options market for. Have never traded or written an option, so laugh out loud. Drink up, beeps. Let's go. Any more comments here? I think we're up to speed with most of your comments as I'm catching up with you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate this. We've got the Dow only up 39 now. It was higher. It's now at the low of the day. S&P is only up 4.8. That's probably a low of its day. NASDAQ down only 9 points, 10 points. So that's the best of its days. That's kind of weird. GameStop 169.28 down 98 cents. We're going nowhere today on pricing. Volume 1.36 million. Very light volume on GameStop today. AMC is now 970 a share, the best range of the day. It was as high as 974. It's still down 9 cents on the day for AMC. Volume 4.5 million. That's all on AMC. That is very light volume. We're not showing much else going on here. Let's go. More comments. Where's the comic book, Bruce? Where are the comic books? Hey, B, I was watching another video earlier which said the SEC and the OCC are bending the rules and suppressing GameStop to prevent a market crash because of the hedge funds shorts. What are your thoughts? Again, these are speculative videos, no basis of fact. Everyone is guessing what's going on, hoping for the best. I mean, there are folks out there, going to pull at any kind of straw for something big to happen immediately. That's just not the way it's going to go down. I don't think that's how this is going to work out. I think that a company like GameStop will systematically keep coming up with news announcements that will just overwhelm the sellers, like they've hired away more people from big companies to join them. And I just get the impression that there will come a point in time where the news is just so positive on a corporate basis for GameStop that the more investors will buy in for a long hold with the Ryan Cohen Express, and they won't be interested in giving up the stock for even a $10, $20 up move. It just isn't going to happen, and that means a shortage of stock in a stock that has got a lot of paper floating around out there, which then creates an upward movement, an upward bias on the stock. And watch out. When she goes. 170 a share right now. I'm showing volume now on GameStop, 1.4 million. This is super dead quiet. We're almost, we're 53 minutes into the hour. There's nothing going on. It is very quiet, down 23 cents. This is not a bad day for GameStop. This is not a bad day. This is interesting. The day after the news of Ryan Cohen becoming chairman of the board of the company after the annual meeting, the stock down 13 cents. This is very good. Usually you think the day after news, it would just plummet. The news is come and gone. It's over. It's down 3 cents to 170.23. It's not going anywhere. It's going to go higher. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for being cool, Uncle. I do all I can. Dan is saying, nee. Apple on an upswing, someone is saying here. John, thank you for that. What do we got Apple doing right now? Up 88 cents. Not much of an upswing, but it is higher. GameStop just went positive and now it just went negative again. Volume on the day for GameStop is now 1.4 million. The Dow is up 60 points, coming back on again. S&P up 5, NASDAQ down 14. All right. We'll see what's going on. Jennifer is alive and moving. She's moving. She's heading for her teapot. By the way, not only did we get this in the mail.
That was easy.
We got that in the mail. We also received another little thing in the mail. This arrived yesterday in another package, and Jen was thrilled when this arrived.
I will be trying that.
She's going to be trying this.
In about 5 minutes.
In about 5 minutes. Orange Pico decaffeinated tea. She's
Pink
thrilled.
Coal.
She's happy. She can you see? Can you hear it?
Yes.
She's happy. She's gonna
Did
try.
you hear the sad news?
Yes, 99 years of age. He's
The
passed
king
us.
is dead. Long
Yeah.
live the queen.
Yeah, I was talking this morning about Claude. I released the name Claude, our friend, and
Yes.
I was talking about how the relationship that I had with him over the years, and how I had worked with him, and I left the firm and I came back to manage the firm, and we were talking on the phone. He couldn't wait for me to come back, and talked about how he helped me get my company public, and then years later he passed away unexpectedly, and how we miss him, but we really enjoyed him. He was a lot of fun.
And you're going to bring that around to Prince Philip somehow?
Well, I just mentioned that as I finished that story about how Claude had missed it, then I mentioned that Prince Philip had passed away,
Yes.
and how I said that as we get older, we replace people with memories. That's what happens.
That's right.
You lose the people, but you always cherish the memories and you remember the good times.
Now the question is, who's up next? Who's up next?
Who's up next?
It's like the Steelers. It's always, next man up.
Next man up.
That's right. You do your job. So will Charles become king, or will he just descended it to William?
Well, when Queen Elizabeth passes, she's...
Well, or if she now steps down.
Does she step back because her husband is
so much
passed?
talk on the radio. What? Oh.
I get the impression that she would step back if she felt she couldn't do the job anymore. I felt that.
Right.
Yes. But on the other hand, she might be such a traditionalist that she dies with her boots on, and that she I don't know if she's been grooming Charles for the job or not. I really don't know.
Well, kind of his whole life, but he has said for many decades now that it's not really a position he wants. It never really was. But
yeah,
duty
calls.
Duty.
Charles seems to be in pretty good health. He hasn't had like medical issues lately or anything like that.
These are healthy people.
He wasn't
long lived,
and he wasn't a smoker or anything like that I'm aware of. He wasn't like a heavy smoker or anything like that. If he was at all, like his grandfather was.
Like his generation was.
Yeah, so he's been much healthier. So he's doing all right. I'm dying for a bagel, by the way. I'm just dying for a bagel.
The stock's dying for a bagel.
The stock's dying for a bagel. It's $168.96. We're down to $1.30. I think the stock's dying for a bagel.
No support.
Well, there is support, but it's very quiet. We've only had 1.4 million trades, so there's no selling coming in. It's quite well held, and it's trading a little bit here, but I think the stock needs a bagel boost.
A bagel boost.
A BB, a bagel boost.
A Bruce bagel boost.
A BBB, a triple B. Bruce bagel boost is what is in order, and I'm thinking grape jelly.
Okay.
Definitely grape jelly today. I got a hankering for that. I asked Jen for a bagel. She's bringing me a bagel, and
that was easy.
Thank you, Jen. And she's getting her tea going, so we're happy about that. Thank you, everybody, for popping in here, visiting with me. Visiting with Jen and I today on a Friday. I hope you're going to have a great weekend this weekend, all of you. Hope you're going to do well. Be safe out there for us, so don't get ill on us. Cheeto to play the squeeze, assuming it happens. So wouldn't it make sense? We talked about that. Okay. We'll continue on here. Thank you, everybody. Jelly, calling grape jelly. Everyone's saying. Charles is currently living in Court Dracula's castle. No lie. Hello, Jen and Jen's forearm. Yay for that triple B. Loving it. Meanwhile, Neat being burnt to the ground by supporters of the royal family. I see teas coming with BBB Bruce Bagel Boost. It's BBB time. We got Bruce Bagel Boost. Thank you for the donation, Bruce Bagel Boost. I could buy more bagels. Fantastic. Better Business Bureau, Bruce's Bagel Boost. There we go. Wolfgang, we'll see what happens. Roll them if you got them. It's almost blunts and bagels time. When we are talking tendies, we'll be screaming, that was easy. That's right.
That was easy.
That was easy. Headed to Vegas in the morning. First vacay in over a year. Liz is saying bagel. Bruce's beautiful buttery bagel breakfast boost bullish buyers. There you go, Tim B. Way to go, man. Chloe, this weekend I'm going to have to take a break and stay off Reddit. Way too much drama last weekend. Barely slept last weekend. Mark, my grandmother was good friends with Prince Philip. They met through LTC Oak Hill Stewart. Says Oak Hill Stewart. Right on. He was kind of a sort of a spokesman for up to 800 organizations through his lifetime. It's just amazing. Bruce's Bagel's going to get us back to 169. We got buzzers.
That was easy.
Every time we buy the dip, that was easy. 168.35. Yeah, we shall see, says Wolfgang. I noticed back in January, this is the reverse.com, and I still see it that way, although the mitigation efforts have delayed it. Take that one off. Awesomeness of Jan. I love turtles. I love lamp. Are my apes ready for the weekend? Let's get the rocket fueled for Monday. Today will be slow day, as has been all week. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you for being here.
That was easy.
Good morning, gang. My mother-in-law received OBE from Prince Charles. How about that? We've got buzzers going. Wolfgang, exactly. Slept in today for once, says Kevin. Welcome all of you to the channel. Welcome all of you who have become members of this channel. We are approaching 1,700 members in only 2.5-3 weeks. Thank you so much for stepping up and really saving this channel from the trolls and the haters. Really appreciate all of you for that. Those of you who are watching for free who are not members, I love you. I'm so glad you're here. You're able to join us. That would be wonderful. One of the perks that I offer, those of you who are thinking of becoming a member, is from time to time, I will send out an alert just to members only about a new stock that we've come up with that looks pretty good to us. We only have to be right one time during the year. If I can pick a stock for you that looks pretty good and it goes up a couple of bucks a share, even $4 or $5 a share in a month or two, and you own 100 of them, you have made more money on one stock pick that we've come up with than the cost of the membership for the whole year. I mean, it's $10 a month to be a member. I give you 2 live shows a day, 5 days a week. You get 10 live shows a week, 40 a month for $10. It's 25 cents a show. Make your comments here. So use the emojis. Keep an eye for alerts. Everybody, thank you so much. For those of you who have become members of this channel, it is such a pleasure and an honor to be able to talk to you every day. Bruce, can you see this? Jendo, you can. I can see this. Absolutely, I see it. Wolfgang, Kevin Link, hello. Yeah, how are you? Observe a hologram. Looking good for you. Thank you. Bruce and Bagels in a bumper car. How about that? These are weird comments. I got to say, we got a new member here. Just as I'm talking about becoming a member, Bale Friend Arts has joined us as a member. Thank you, Bale Friend Arts, for coming in. Also, it looks like we have another. It's a female member. Thank you for joining us. All of you gals out there who are joining us, I really appreciate you joining us. It's we try to make this a friendly place for the female members as well. AB is saying, hey, 1,700 members at $9.99. You can lease a Tesla for that. Now, you ever tried to lease a Tesla as a YouTube sponsor, as a YouTube channel guy? You go to the leasing department and they say, oh, you want to lease a Tesla? Oh, great. Okay, no problem. Your payment is going to be whatever. What do you do for a living? I'm a YouTube creator. Oh, okay. How long you been doing that? On stock markets, the Bruce, since last summer. Oh, how much money does your channel make? Well, I have sponsor members and they make a payment of $10 a month. Although YouTube takes 30% of that because that's their fee. You know, I only get 70% of that. Oh yeah. How long have you had members on your channel? 3 weeks. Well, thanks for coming in, Bruce. We'll see you in 3 years when you have a track record and you can hang on to those members, and maybe then we'll lease you a car. Okay, get out of here. You're wasting my time, kid. You're wasting my time. A Bale friend saying hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Everyone's going to welcome you in here. Fantastic. Charles, I first picked up GameStop at 27. Then I bought GameStop at 42. Then I bought GameStop at 67. Then again and again and again, here we are. And here we are. We're now 168.49 on GameStop. and I think we're going to go higher. Sal, wait a sec. How did the thumbs up go back under 1,000? How can that be? What do we have on thumbs up? I'm showing 1,000 thumbs ups at the moment that we have here. I'm showing there are 3,100 people watching right now, so there could be at least 2,000 thumbs ups available, depending on whether or not people feel that this show deserves a thumbs up versus a thumbs down or nothing. We have 1,000 up, we have 37 down, and if we can get thumbs ups coming in here, we should easily get up to 2,000. Like, it shouldn't take much at all to get to 2,000 thumbs ups. We're now at 1,100 thumbs ups right now. Get us to 1,200 thumbs ups, and we've got ourselves a 30-to-1 ratio up to down. That would be pretty good. We kind of need some momentum on the thumbs ups. The more thumbs ups the show gets, the more people on YouTube will be recommended to come in here. And the more folks who come in here to watch a show where we're kind of, pro GameStop shares. If you're a GameStop shareholder, you kind of want more people to find out about us, because these folks find out what we know about GameStop that they might not know about GameStop at all. So the more people that know the good stuff about GameStop, the more buying of stock that could happen, and the more buying of stock that could happen, the higher the shares could go, because you put them into diamond hands. There's 1,200 thumbs ups right now, 42 on the down glow. So we got 30-to-1 ratio up to down. We can get to 2,000. We'll be 50-to-1. The more thumbs ups, the more action, the more YouTube will recommend viewers to this show. Thank you, all of you, for thumbs ups. They're free to hand out. So if you're able to give me a thumbs up, please consider doing so and help out this show. Guys, thank you so much, all of you, for helping out. Also, I wanted to give a shout out from last evening to a very special friend of this channel. Wanted to let our friend know I think about you every time I see you do this. Scott Combin, thank you every day for your donation to this channel through PayPal. This is a viewer that makes a daily donation to this channel from the UK, and I thank you so much for your continuing support of this YouTuber. It is definitely on Jennifer and our to-do list that if we get ourselves over to the UK, we get to your town, we are getting together. There is no question about that. So again, thank you, all of you out there who've made donations to this channel through PayPal. We really do appreciate it very, very much. We are right now coming in here on 168.50 on GameStop. The Dow is up 69, S&P up 4, NASDAQ down 18. And I say we are appreciative of all of you. The best uncle one can buy. Well, thank you, guys. Sorry, Bruce can't afford a thumbs up. I'm a little short at the moment. Really wets my whistle. He lost 70 viewers in seconds. Yeah, every YouTuber asks for thumbs ups. They kind of have to. We need them badly. Hit the YouTube thumbs up button now. Please do. I want to project a tiny movie from this forehead, snuggle up to his glasses to watch it. I'm not sure what's going on here. Pete's laughing. JJ laughing. Observe. Are you always high? Invisalade. Are you always high? Another donation just came in. Thank you for these also. Okay. Oh, wow.
That was easy.
That was easy. Thank you, Jennifer.
That was easy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it. Anything you want to say to the world at large out there?
That was easy.
Phone fell on the button.
Phone did it. Happy Friday on a short week. It looks like they're filling and packing the hole.
Are they filling
the
it in?
noise might be done soon.
They're filling up a hole outside the house. Thank God for that.
That's right. That's right. And
curling. What's happening?
Curling. Well, today we play Deutschland. It's our last game of the round robin, and then the playoffs begin. You want to make the top 6 because the top 6 automatically get into the Olympics, which is why in this COVID year they're holding the Worlds. Normally they wouldn't have done it.
See?
but because the bubble in Calgary is working, that we have this, and then I think we have a week off, and then it's the World Women's Curling.
The next tournament.
Yeah.
And they have to figure out which women's teams go to the Olympics as well.
Right. Now, have you told them how we lived in Calgary in 1988 during the Winter Olympics? That's when I was first introduced to the German fan at the hockey games with their little German hats and little steins hanging off of it.
Also the Polish fans.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. That.
Oh, it was so much fun.
It was so much.
I have to tell a story. I'll have to tell you a story about the Olympics in Calgary.
I was quite pregnant, and they were very nice to me. And between games, because we went to see all the hockey games, between games they would clear out the arena, clean it up, and they wouldn't make me leave. I could go upstairs and.
We went up to the lounge.
In the lounge.
Could hang out there. They brought you a chair for your legs.
Yeah, they were so nice to me. And even with that, even with 27 hockey games, even with having Flames tickets, somehow the sports gene jumped our daughter.
We did everything we could.
I don't know how.
That poor kid.
You think just by sheer osmosis she would get this.
With all those German hockey fans, you'd think she'd become a...
I don't know. Deutschland.
She ended up living in Germany. She ended up living in Berlin, but didn't even watch a hockey game there.
Not even a soccer game.
Not even a soccer game.
Aye.
No interest.
Where did we go wrong?
What did we do?
What did we do?
What happened?
Well, at least she didn't grow up to be a basketball fan. God.
I think I just lost 50 subscribers. I just lost 25 members. Oh, my. Down playing basketball.
See, there's a reason I don't have a channel.
There's a reason Jen doesn't have a channel. Politically incorrect.
Okay, that could just be me that doesn't watch basketball.
I occasionally watch basketball, but I'm definitely a hockey fan.
I'll watch golf before I'll watch basketball.
I used to watch golf all the
Sorry,
time.
people. Sorry. And I've tried watching it, like our high school team in person. I tried. Nope. It just makes me want to ram my head in the wall.
Basketball in Canada, though, not the same. Not as competitive as in the States. Not even close.
Oh, no. All high school sports, it's not even close to the, yeah. Every Friday, we would get, 6,000 people out to watch our high school football team.
In Palm Desert.
In Palm Desert, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Friday Night Pig.
Friday Night Lights and Homecoming to
Oh, my God.
people who haven't seen it.
As Canadians, we would watch, we would go to our daughter's high school in Palm Desert. And it was the third or fourth game of the year was Homecoming. Tears everywhere. Oh my God.
And the place was packed.
Oh, no
Homecoming
seat.
floats.
No seat available in a 7,000 seat stand, which is in itself unbelievable for high school.
Yeah.
But all the people in the stands, oh, the tears. Oh my
Everybody
goodness,
back.
the emotion
Yeah.
of Homecoming. Oh my God.
And Homecoming game was always against the dreaded rival,
La Quinta, the dreaded rival La Quinta.
They took their flag and planted it in the middle of our field.
That's true. There was a homecoming flag that they fought over. The winner of the game got the
Yes.
homecoming flag.
And they had won it the year before, and they brought it back,
Right.
ran it around the field,
Oh, they paraded it in
and
front of us.
planted it
Yep, they
in
put
the
it up.
middle of our grass.
Oh man! Oh, how could they do that? Did we
The
win that
boys
game?
came out ready to eat raw meat.
Oh, we were ready to eat raw meat. Then the halftime, they had the floats,
They had the
parade,
floats. Yeah,
and the homecoming queen.
Queen and
And then
King.
All
Yeah.
these kids would walk down along the track who were recent graduates from the year
Right,
before,
yeah.
coming back for
Yeah.
homecoming. Oh, the tears.
And then the dance, homecoming dance on Saturday night.
Oh my God, the emotion. Oh, we don't have that in Canada. We just don't have that kind of stuff.
Craziness.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It introduced us to high school.
To American high school, we got the introduction to American high school.
That was
That's
our
right.
indoctrination.
Our
It's like,
indoctrination.
wow, they mean it.
They mean it. They mean it. Yeah.
They really mean it.
Yep, that was something else. Now we miss it because our daughter long ago graduated. We don't have any other kids.
What are we supposed to do on Friday night?
What are we supposed to do Friday night now?
Go roller skating?
What, go roller skating? What the hell are we supposed to do now? I don't know. Oh my gosh. I can finance that Tesla for you. Come on down here, buddy. 1,356 shows here. I'm not sure what that means. Thank you, everybody. We got the bagel going right now. We're at 167.85. So, you know, and then it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Good morning, friends. Oh, the Golden Knights helped us get through the mass shooting. We watched that. That was emotional. Unbelievable. Stop teasing us with just your hand, Jen. You could get to $26. Adopt me if you'd like, Bruce. You can adopt me. Thumbs up for Bruce. Smash that thumbs up button for Bruce. I play basketball. Don't tell Jen. Haha, laugh out loud. Love you, Brucey crew. Oh, man. Oh, here we are. Reddit. Pat Diaz. Oh, that's sweet. Watch the last 45 minutes from yesterday's afternoon show to hear how they met and a quick story of their wedding. Yeah, that was on yesterday's live show, the last 45 minutes. Yeah, quite the story. Got busy yesterday. You got the link for the yesterday's story? Let's go to my homepage. You'll find it. Get those thumbs up for Bruce. I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas at the MGM Grand during the shooting. Unbelievable. It was so bad. Thank you guys so much for all your support today and being here. We have 1,400 thumbs up, 49 down. We're a 30-to-1 ratio almost. Just got to get to 1,500. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, guys. Get me to 1,500 thumbs up. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Almost forgot to feed the cat.
That's true. Thumbs up's coming through. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for your comments on my email account as well. 167.89 on GameStop right now. The Dow is up 45, 46. S&P up 1.5. NASDAQ down 34. That's what we're showing at the moment. And we are just kind of pounding along here. And let's see here. Today's a good show. Loving our vibe. 167 is the dip. We'll see. Ryan Cohen's wife's boyfriend, Bruce. Ryan Cohen just issued a statement. They need those bagels at an important shareholder meeting coming up. What do you say, Jan? Can you hang my hat? Can you help out? Uh-oh, Derek's getting into big trouble here. Basketball has got to be more exciting than curling. There, I said it. Man. I don't know, if you give basketball players brooms, you know, dribble with one hand, broom with the other, that would improve that. It would change that game. Oh, my. Oh, man. No more pages. No more pages makes a stop go down. Maybe switch to plain English muffins. No more bagels. Bagel out of the fridge. 22 seconds in the microwave. Sliced bagel toast. Jake, hologram. No one wants FUBU. Dude, I have my GameStop, Jake. Dude, I have my GameStop. Thumbs ups, everybody. All right, everybody. Got to go to work. I'll see you guys later. Obviously they do. Bruce, you should start putting the date and AM PM in the title of your videos. I told my sister to go watch one day. She said it was too confusing to find with only labeled 14 hours ago. Oh, man. So difficult. The bagel is tasty. 167.93. Come on, stock. I have my steak, egg, and cheese bagel, and big cup of Joe. Feds, we'll see you later. Jack Wallace, I'll send you a postcard from the outer FUBO system. The only way we lose if Cohen and team disappeared. Will Wall Street go that far? Hey, there's something weird about curling. Whenever I never watch it much. I get sucked in. There's something weird about curling. It's very technical. Very technical. A lot of strategy. A lot of strategy in curling. What was the first car you ever had? Oh my gosh. The first car I ever drove was my mother's car. My mother had a 1965 Volkswagen Beetle. And then I drove a Ford Econoline van that my dad's music store owned. And then my father let me drive a Volkswagen Super Beetle from 1975, I think it was, Super Beetle. And he let me drive that for over a year. And I was the unofficial delivery man for the music store because I was going to college in Toronto, 60 miles from Kitchener to Toronto every day in my last year. And so I was driving this car to drop off and pick up musical supplies, repairing of instruments and so on for the music store. And then doing college at the same time. And that worked out beautiful because it gave me mobility and I didn't have to be stuck in Toronto all week long. I could be home every night. With Jen, that's right. But the first car I ever owned, I purchased in Alberta, Calgary. The year was 1976. And I believe I bought a 1972 Mercury Montcalm, four-door, boring car. It's likely driven by an employee of an oil company. I paid $1,000 for this car. It was on sale for $1,200. Bought it for $1,000 cash. And within about 7 months, it started burning oil badly, badly. So I had to get rid of it. But as it turned out, I bought that car in '77. By '78. I was self-employed now as a watchmaker, and I was driving home one day. I was driving along the road one day with Jennifer, and we noticed a car for sale. It was a Camaro at a car wash. It was a for sale sign on it, and I pulled in and I looked at the car, and I went into the office, and there was a guy working behind the counter at the car wash who was selling his car. And it was always perfectly clean because he worked at the car wash. It was brilliant. I mean, the guy could have sold cars for a living one at a time there if he'd played his cards right. Anyway, he had to sell this car because he had had an accident with the car and his insurance went nuts. And I said, love to buy this car, but how solid is it? He said, well, take it for a ride. Here's the keys. Go for a ride. Because I would leave my car there and take his car for a spin. Oh, just great car. It was a V8 engine Camaro. 2 years old. It was a 76 Camaro, white with black interior. And I came back and drove great. And I said, I need to get it to a mechanic. I need to get it inspected. He said, yeah, no problem. We can set that up. So I arranged a couple days later to get it to a mechanic. He hoisted it up, and he had been trying to keep this Mercury that I was driving alive. And he looked at this car and he said, yeah, it's been in an accident, but it's only had body panel problems. It had a body panel replaced here, body panel here. The frame is fine. Engine's fine, tranny's fine. He goes, nothing wrong with the car. He said, have you had it over 60 miles an hour? I said, yeah. He says, does it shake? I said, no, well, you're good. So the guy was asking $4,800 for this car. Brand new Camaro at that time was about $8,000. And I went to my banker and to my loans officer, and I said, the car I have is on its last legs. This car really looks nice. I've checked it out with a mechanic. Gave my loans officer the serial number on the car, the VIN number, and she did some. I watched her work. She got on the phone and she found out how much was owing on the car, and she says the guy who's trying to sell you the car, he owes $4,400 on it, so he has to pay off $4,400 to his banker in order for you to get it off of him. So he can't sell it to you. No, wait a minute, no, wasn't that? No. He was asking $4,800. And he owes like $3,800 or $3,900. She says, so he's trying to get out from underneath the payments because he can't afford the insurance because his insurance went way up. As probably now, $500 a month in 1978. It was a fortune. So she said, you tell him that I told you that I will only lend you $4,000 to buy the car. That's all I'll lend you. Because it's been in an accident, and this bank won't lend you more than a dime over $4,000. He says, you tell him that. And she handed me the phone. She said, call him right now from here, right in front of me. I said, oh, okay. So I dialed this guy up at the car wash. I said, yeah, hey, Fred, yeah. I'm at my banker's right now. I'm trying to buy your car. I'm trying to get a loan. I can only get a loan for $4,000 on the car because it's been in an accident. And my loans officer won't lend me a dime more than that's it's all I can borrow from you for it. I can offer you $4,000. What do you say? He said, I'll take it. And I said to her, got a deal. Okay. And she said, tell him you'll have a certified check in an hour. I said, I'll be there in an hour with a certified check. He says, okay, great. Hang up the phone. So she gives me the paperwork. She wants me to have him sign to transfer the title and all this stuff. And she instantly made me a loan and handed me a certified check for this guy, which I went over to his place a little later that day and dropped off the check and grabbed the car. And I had myself this Camaro with maybe 15,000 miles on it. It was 2 years old, in absolutely perfect condition. Really, it was a beautiful car. And I ran that car for 3 years with Jennifer, who sold the other one, by the way, for $500. The one I bought for $1,000, sold it for $500 to a kid who's going to rebuild the engine. He was happy to take. So now I had a Camaro, and we found that when Jen and I were in the car, we'd drive around town. People always look at us. They'd look at this really nice, shiny white Camaro. Anyway, no air conditioning, a 302 V8, no power windows. It was a base car, but we loved it. We loved this car. We were 22 years old, 23 years old, driving a Camaro. Loved it and drove it across the country to Ontario and back. And then I became a broker. And then I got my hands on a BMW, and I sold the Camaro to a fellow stockbroker in the shop in our house. He had a brother-in-law who wanted a car, and I said, I got my Camaro for sale. And he said, let me I'll have him take a look at it. I said, okay. So he had his brother-in-law take it for a drive, and he offered me $4,800 for the car. I had it for 2.5 years. $4,800 because a new Camaro now with the inflation rate that was ridiculous. A new Camaro was $12,000. That's the beauty of inflation. One of the best things about it. So this used car went up in value, even though it was 2 years older. Sold it. It was a 45,000 mile car now, 5 years old, still hardly driven. $4,800. I made $800 profit on the car, and cash deal. And that went to pay bills. How about that? So that's how my early history with vehicles got into the mix. Anyway, that's a little car story for you. 166.26 on GameStop, down $4. Not much to get excited about here. Would sure like to see this stock go higher. But 166.26 volume right now on GameStop 1.8 million. Very quiet volume. 166.26 down $4. That's where we're at. Bruce, I know I like to stick to stocks you follow. Would you mind talking about what happens to stocks after a competitive buy? You're referring to Canopy purchasing Supreme yesterday. Canada, well, nothing much happens after a buyout. If a company offers another company a buyout, that's usually the end of the stock's movement to any great degree, unless there's a second company that wants to buy the company in competition against the first company. Sometimes you get a bidding war between two companies trying to buy a third company. Rare, almost never happens anymore. Normally these deals are friendly, negotiated, done deals, and there's very little room for upside after that. Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. Uncle Bruce, Enter the Bagel. Okay, I confess, I've watched curling when I was last seen it on TV. Why do they call it a cup of Joe? Why do they call coffee a cup of Joe? Does anybody know that answer? That's a good question. GameStop is probably going down to 150. I'm selling all my shares, going to buy back when it goes down further, says Antoinette. Well, you're at 166.66 right now. You're $16 away. We'll see what happens. Lance, don't forget to take some profits. Hologram, this always happens to me on my day trades. I don't sell and I don't sell and I lose out. Gene, 1230 is actually 830. I agree. 1230 is actually 830. I agree. Antoinette, huh? Stonkwagon. Sal, looking all over, cannot find. Curling Rocks. Sal. Whatever. What's going on? More comments. Let me catch up to the comments. They're just flying through. I'm trying to keep up. Oh my God, they're going through. There we go. Okay. Stock market with Bruce, especially when he only wears the blue bagel shirt. Even I don't know when I've drifted into another day's video. I'm always wearing the same outfit. Sorry about that. Eventually I will wash it. Bruce, you said you play guitar occasionally. What kind of guitar do you play? I have a guitar, an acoustic. It's an Everly Brothers big acoustic kind of body guitar. And if you ever seen photos of the Everly Brothers, you'll see these big giant acoustic. The version of the brand I have it's an L Degas, Japanese made in 1972, I'd say. It's a 72 guitar. I got it from my dad's music store as a used guitar. I bought it in 74 as a used guitar. And I still have it. I still have it. Occasionally play it. We have another acoustic guitar. I think it's an acoustic Fender, which was made in Japan as well in the 80s. And then my brother-in-law gave me an electric guitar, really cheap electric, which I'm having trouble keeping in tune because it needs adjusting and stuff. I don't play it. I do have my bass guitar that I made a lot of money with, my Hofner bass, which would have been from about 1968, 69. Single pickup Hofner bass guitar. I still have that, and I have an amplifier to play the bass guitar or electric if I wanted to, that my daughter gave me for my birthday about 5 years ago, and I've played it twice. I never plug in my bass guitar to play the bass guitar. I'm all alone here with Jennifer, and we watch TV, and I'm on YouTube, and I don't play bass guitar. And I very rarely play my acoustic guitar. I used to commute with it to college when I used to hitchhike to school. To Toronto and back, and it got me a lot of rides having a guitar with me. But I rarely play it these days. You look like a van guy. There you go. 77 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. Green with green leather seats was my first car. Oh my gosh. Thanks for your support, Bruce. Thanks for the support, T-Bone. Not sure if he likes that suggestion. Curling is the only sport I've ever seen where players can chew gum and while playing in the Olympics. Yeah, they generally don't do that anymore. They used to smoke. In the old days, not in the Olympics, but they used to smoke when they played curling way back when. They used to have pipes on the curling surface way back when. They used to use those corn brooms to sweep. Those days are long gone now. These guys are all buff now. I have a feeling people are selling off and buying back when it goes lower. By next week, the stock will be 100 if people don't stop selling. It's just my opinion. You know what? 165.04 is the stock right now. with 2 million shares traded. This stock can go up $15 a share in 5 minutes. It would take nothing for it to take a pop. Hologram, I'm so happy. I never did this right before. Olivia's going virtual hug. Bagel, I am true. I'm a true ape. Sal, I couldn't find the Discord link on the Reddit feed either. Congrats, Hologram. I'm going to need a 12-step program for stocks. I'm addicted. Is that a Kraft Heinz ketchup there, Bruce? This down here, this is Monk's Cafe from the Jerry Seinfeld show. That was a little mini salt and pepper shakers designed as a mustard and ketchup container. Hologram, thanks also to the Brucey fan who told me about CDEV. Heinz, did somebody say Heinz? Heinz? Let's see here. I think I need some Heinz. Let's go. He reads messages so fast. It's hits or miss. If he catches what it's saying, we love you, Uncle Bruce. Anyway, sometimes you slip stuff by me. I don't get it. The bagel has no effect anymore. That's not fair. Feedin. Thank you for this donation. I've been working a lot. What's going on with GameStop? Very low volume. We need that squeeze. We can't wait anymore. Laugh out loud. Not selling through. Thanks, Bruce. I'm not selling though. Thank you, Bruce. We're at 165.38 right now. Jane Doe, stock market with Bruce. That Mercury must have been a real chick magnet. Oh my! It had vinyl interior, no tinted windows, no power or anything except automatic transmission. I don't think it had air conditioning. I can't remember. It was a small V8, but it got Jen and I around town. It got us around the area, but we eventually let her go. We enjoyed the Camaro a lot. That was a chick magnet, but just Jen and I in the car. And then the BMW after that. I got a 79 BMW 528i, brand new car. And that was unbelievable. And it left the Camaro in its tracks. That Camaro could not hold a candle to the speed of the BMW and the handling. Oh my God, the Camaro was just a block with rear-wheel drive. It was nowhere near. I will check here, says check there, says JL. At 8, a pistachio muffin and some sausage. I'm just saying. Antoinette observed that, says, what's happening? Gonna run to 20. Oh, somebody's liking a stock. A T-bone for sure. Love Uncle Bruce. I want everyone to watch Uncle Bruce, says Jendo. Let's see. Wolfgang is saying it was time to sell last week or 2 weeks ago. Now is the time to buy this stock. A special edition stock markets with Bruce watches. Do I sell at a percentage gain or an actual price gain? What do I do? It's 165.97. It is coming back up a little bit right now. It was as low as 164.85 on only 2 million shares. Oh, the Camaro is my favorite car. V8 Camaro, that's real nice. JL, no problem. Just posted it. You got this. Mine, Little Red pickup, a Nissan pickup truck, affectionately called Little Red. That's me, the creative one. Wolfgang, you sell when you wish. However, if you are in a stock that still has growth in the price and it grows, you lose out on money if you sell early. That's true. I hope the squeeze happens well before. I promised the wife something really nice for green to put up so many tendies to get it. I got mugged in HS, no Friday Night Lights in New York City. I got mugged in HS, no Friday Night Lights in New York City. Donna, a 71 Z28 Camaro. Yeah, I didn't have a Z28. They came out with a Z28 in 78, but in 76 they had the LT. I believe they had the LT in the other version. I think I had the standard version, and we had a big 8-track player in it from 76, and he gave me an 8-track cassette, Saturday Night Fever. He gave me that. I could have it. I never bought an 8-track for that thing. Never. We just listened to the radio. And I think it only had an AM radio. I don't know if it had an FM. Must have had an FM. I don't know. 76. I can't remember in those days. Hologram, whenever you're happy with, you were stoked at 23ish. Now you're at 25. Don't forget. Let's see. People are buying different stocks. That's okay. It's all fun. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see. I love his stories, or maybe I'm just mad, lonely, laughing out loud. Let's see. Antoinette, it's low volume consolidation. People aren't selling much. Shorts are trying to suppress, but they don't need much to do it. They'll eventually get squeezed. Let's see. Let's go. Here's the I think that's a Reddit site. Is that the Reddit site or is that the Discord? I don't remember. Our stock markets with Bruce, whatever that is. 166.02 on GameStop right now. What can I say? That's where it is right now. That's where it is right now. Let's go. 8 whole tracks. That's right. 8 whole track. Oh my! I had a Saturday Night Fever 8-track as well. Looks like we'll track the bit. Laughing out loud. Let's see. I got my mom's 66 Mustang after my 2 older siblings wrecked it. Guys, watch this. Don't worry. It's just for laughs. Red. Yes, Reddit. R means Reddit. Bruce, my group gave up and sold 100,000 shares. Obviously, it's over. 166 right now. Oh, yeah. RS MacD dropped hard on FUBO, whatever's going on. Wolfgang says kidding. Let's go. That's it. That's what I got. Where are we at right now here on the market? We are at up 85 for the Dow Jones, up 94 now for the Dow Jones, up 365 for S&P 500. NASDAQ down 31 points, and oil down a penny. Not much going on. 166.40 on GameStop shares. We have a new member. We have Mark Beagle, new member of this channel, the newest, greatest addition to this channel. Thank you, Mark, for joining up with us. Nice to have you here today. What are your thoughts, Bruce, on IPOE next week? I'm waiting for IPOE to finish their merger. That should happen at any time. I'm certain it's close. The stock is 17.76, down 38 cents. It ran over 18 yesterday. I think at any time this is going to happen, and then look out. I think you're going to be very happy with how this stock goes. The other SPACs I'm following, the 6 other SPACs, are within now about a month away. They're all about a month away now. Octavio is here as a member, a new member of this channel. Octavio, thank you for joining in with the gang and joining us. It's nice to have you here as well. Love it. All these new members are coming into the channel one after the other, and you will be welcomed by a whole bunch of people. Both you guys, thank you for joining. All of you guys for joining. Hey, Mark, thank you for joining the channel. Fantastic. Mark, Octavio, welcome, guys. This is good stuff. Nice to have you all here joining us, and we appreciate it. Fantastic. Yes, that's the deal, guys. Not much else to tell you about this morning. It's a quiet Friday. I'll be on this afternoon, of course, at 3 o'clock Eastern, 1 hour before the close, into 1 hour after the close. This afternoon, if you remind me, I'll tell you the story about the 1988 Winter Olympics coming to Calgary. I'll tell you the whole story. There's a whole story about the 1988 Winter Olympics. You have not witnessed humankind until the world comes to your town for an Olympic Games. It's unbelievable what happens to your city when you host an Olympic Games. And then I'll tell you the story. Again, you got to remind me now. I'll not only tell you the story about the Winter Olympics, I'll tell you another story about what happened right after the Winter Olympics to me that I'll never forget. Another story I'll never forget. And I hope you find it interesting. It'll be your Friday afternoon story after the close. Join me for that and ask me to tell you about the Winter Olympics story from 1988 and the story after the Winter Olympics. I got 2 of them, and we'll share those with you guys. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, we'll be here for another 17 minutes on this one right now. See what's going on with this day here. What's going to happen today? And apparently it's Nancy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Nancy. Way to go, Nancy. Thanks, everyone. Nancy says 29 and smiling. Way to go, Nancy. Don't ever give up 29. Fantastic. Everyone is happy with that. Yes, the Jamaicans did have a bobsled team at the Winter Olympics. As a matter of fact, John Candy ended up making a movie about the bobsled team that came out. Cool Runnings, I think it was called. True How about that? Investors Business Daily says GameStop is selling their 3.5 million new shares for 168. What do you think? They always hate the stock. The volume is 2.1 million. I don't know if that's happening. I'm not sure. Let's go. Thank you everybody for popping in. This is great. Cool Runnings. That's right. Lorenzo. It's also my birthday. Jake, great movie. I just turned Uncle Bruce's age, 65. No, Nancy, that can't be true. You can't be 65. You can't. Oh my gosh. Look out, Jamaica. It's bobsled time. Happy birthday, Lorenzo. We'll see you guys in Discord after class. Smile, says John Van. 165.97 is the price of the stock right now. Volume on GameStop, 2.1 million. Low of the day, 164.85. That's where I'm showing it right now. They can't, or they'd have to file a new document, someone is saying. It's Tony's birthday too. Free Tony. Oh my gosh. L4G Custom Fabrication. Thank you for this donation. It was fun while it lasted, but it's looking like game over for the Reddit-powered short squeeze rebellion on GameStop stock and even some S&P 500 stocks, allegedly, they say. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not so sure about that, but well, you never know. Of course, it's happening. Moneymakers are taking the price down as low as they can before the new regulations are in place. There's that too. The regulations. What about these failure to deliver notices? And what about the options that are expiring today? Perhaps the stock is down today because options are expiring today. Today's Friday. We're only down $4.56, kids. This is nothing. You forget about the fact this stock can move $50 in one day, either direction in an hour. You never know. Anyway, I loved Cool Runnings, says Uga. Let's see. 2,300 people here. There's 6 birthdays. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Rest in peace, John Candy. That's right. Good old John Candy. He was great. We have 1,500 thumbs ups that have come in today. We have 55 downs today. So if we can get up to that, 1,700, 1,800 range, we'll be at a 30-to-1 ratio. As a matter of fact, we get to 1,650 thumbs ups, we'll be at 30-to-1. Bring in those thumbs ups if you can, folks. Help out the channel. Appreciate that. It's nice to have you all here today and joining me and Jennifer and staying on top of these markets with us. What can we say? It is a quiet day. The Dow is now up, though, 91 points. S&P up 5, and NASDAQ's only down 19. I think the NASDAQ is coming on for a plus day today. At the end of it, it'll be an up day. Then it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the market reacts, that all 3 indices are higher on option expiry day. Do we get a real strong surge at the end of the day on everything? We'll see. Anything is possible. There's so many things possible with this market. We'll just cover it together, see what's going on. I like today. Let's like Bruce. What can I say? Chill out, Papyrus Palms. I've read dozens of articles claiming that GameStop is dead for weeks already. I like the stocks. I'm not selling the stock. I'm doing nothing but scooping up these dips and holding. Thank you, everybody. Can dilution of stock, if it happens, help the shorters cover their positions? Well, if you give them enough. So if you're short 150 million shares of GameStop with all the non-deliveries and everything else, and then you issue 3.5 million shares from the Treasury, you're still short 145.5 million shares or 146.5 million shares. So it doesn't really solve that problem, does it? It doesn't really make that go away. Davey, before tsunami, the ocean retreats. Did you notice that? How oceans do that? They kind of go out first, and they come back with a vengeance. Look out. I actually bought another share. I own it, by the way. Let's see what is coming up. He read it. He owns it. I own it. I was in Alberta when the Olympics came there. Rent went up. All the locals got out of town. It was a ghost town. Cool when the torch ran through. Bought scalper tickets and saw events. Awesome time. Yeah, I got stories. I got a story about the Olympics today. Well, join me today in the afternoon show. I'll talk to you about the Olympics in Calgary. GameStop is so dead that I'm staring at my screen, just waiting for it to die some more so I can buy it all up. I just love me some dead stocks. 165.30 down 496. That's all it is. There is a lot of negative sentiment in the main daily thread on Wall Street Bets at the moment. It's like It's like a war over there between GameStop fans and GameStop haters. Strange sub at the moment. So it's kind of a weird thing over there. The OCC rule change. What are they waiting for? Ryan, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. I have $130 in my account. Let it go down some more. I know everyone jokes about this, but seriously, I panicked and I bought more. Thank you guys. A long time watcher, first time chatter. Welcome, Octavio. Welcome to. Nice to have you here. UVV. Today is dividend day. 77 cents pay date. 5-3. If anyone is interested in boring stock for UVV. This is the craziest 8-bet. Wow. Hologram. Actually, it's failing the W. I don't know what that means. Brian, me too. I feel like I do that pretty much every day. Heath, I haven't seen red since it blew through 60, but I'm holding even if it somehow gets that low. I believe in the company. In the spirit of the Masters, my bags are in a negative score. I think I am winning this game. Hologram is laughing about that. We're at 165.24 down 502 on the stock. We've got AMC at 958 down 20 cents today. Unfortunately, AMC still under pressure. And there's not much going on. We got the Dow up 78 points. Microsoft up 96. Apple up 75. There's only a couple of greens. The rest are reds today, but it's quiet red. Love the Bruce. You couldn't hold it. Can someone loan me $40 so I can buy one more share? Got a free read. You're the real MVP. I got a free read. You're the real MVP. Oh, okay. Bruce, so all these synthetic or counterfeit shares that are being traded, how are they dissolved or removed from the actual count as they are called? Well, I'm guessing that as someone whoever's short stock, they start to buy up stock that they're short to get flat again. They eliminate their short position by acquiring a stock that's out there. They buy it, and that's one less share that's trading out there. Because that one share they just bought, or that 100 shares or the 1,000 shares, were out there trading around, but they've bought back 1,000 that they were short. Now they're not short any stock. There's 1,000 fewer shares trading hands. We got to do this 150 million times. That's all it is. The catch, of course, is how do you buy 150 million shares of GameStop in like a month without the stock going up? How are you going to squeeze out that much paper from people who own it that are expecting it to go to much higher levels? After all, we've talked about the stock could be worth $1,040 a share if you compare it to Chewy right now. Why would someone sell at 164 when they believe it's going to be worth 1,040, not too far down the road? Maybe they'll sell at 600 and they'll give up on it. Maybe they'll sell at 750. But this 150 million shares of buying is going to have to move the market a long way to entice people to give it up. You're trying to get 150 million shares. How are you going to get 150 million shares? It's only traded today 2.2 million shares. 2.2 million. That's all that's traded hands. It's down $6 a share on 2.2 million. No one is giving it up in volume at all. It's just trickling along. You get 2.2 million shares of buying in the next 30 minutes, the stock's up $15 a share. That's what happens quick. So I don't know how you're going to buy 150 million. How are you going to do that? Not down here, you're not. You might get 2 million, but you're not getting 150 million. And I think that the 2.2 million traded today, bet you half of it or more is day traders in and out, just turning it over. They're actually not long-term buyers or sellers. That's my guess. That's my guess. Makes sense. Got a new member. Oh, hi, Mark. Let's go. Here we go. CNBC headline: investors have put more money into the stocks in the last 5 months than the last 12 years combined. There's more coming. There's a lot more money coming into the market. We have not even got close. Not even close to what's coming in here. Amazon shares rise as Alabama workers vote down unionization. Biden budget calls for new health agency, higher defense discretionary outlays. That's what the Biden plan is looking for. T-Bone's comment, hold. Interesting, T-Bone. Yeah, there's likely a huge record of all those exchanges of stock. Depends how deep it goes and how it's activated. A margin call would be nice. Show your papers. Show me your papers. 164.92, a low of the day, 164.10. The stock has had a series of steps down, 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 down. That's all it's been doing today. We'll see how it goes the rest of the day. Bruce, do the hedge funds who shorted stocks have an ultimatum to buy the stock back? How does it work? Not that I'm aware of. I don't know of an ultimatum that's in front of their desks at this moment in time. I think by the time the shares take a run up, we'll have heard then of an ultimatum that was issued a week earlier, but it'll be after the fact with the stock already running. But Jim Pollack thinks it's inevitable. There you go. And it could be inevitable. It could be. This is all the money makers' manipulation by buying puts in the money and keeping the price every day a little lower, but the squeeze will come when the failure to deliver shares are called in. See what that happens. Lord Charles, all shorts must cover. That's the end of the day. At the end of the day, they must cover to be flat, to take a profit, to take their money out of the position. If you short stock, you sell it, the money comes into your account from the sale. You have to add just as much money on top of that for margin. But if the shares go up in price, you have to put up more money to hold the short position on margin. If they go up higher again, you got to put up more money to hold the position. So if you are short 1 million shares, that's $164 million of stock. This stock goes to $264 a share. It's now $264 million short position. You got to put up more money to hold your position. This gets more expensive to hang on to a short position the more you lose on a short position. And there's no limit to how high stock can go once it's shorted. Any stock can go to the infinity and beyond. And if you're short, you have unlimited losses at your beck and call. That's not good. DFV says they're running out of time. Oscar, third round of stimulus checks are out last week. And this week, this will impact the market as well. I believe that too. More money coming into the market. Bruce, my worry is that at these levels, the buying seems to have dried up, very low volume. Holding is not enough. What do you think it'll take for people to start buying en masse again? Like I say, I think that more news keeps coming out of this company. They will probably, their next announcement will likely be additional people hired from other corporations as they're stealing people to come in. I think that's your next bit of news, and you're going to get a lot of it. You're going to get a lot of this kind of news as they continue to evolve their company. The other news that'll come out soon will be that at the end of this month is the end of the first quarter. The end of April. So what are we at now? The 8th, 9th of April. So in 21 days, 3 weeks is the end of the month. And about 3 weeks later, towards the end of May, we'll have the first quarter financials come out to see how the first quarter financials are going for this company, which I think are very, very, very good. We know that February was up 5.5% from February a year ago when no stores were closed. And even though they have 12% fewer stores, they made more money in sales than last year with all the stores they used to have. March was up 18% in year-over-year sales. April will be up substantially in year-over-year sales. So they're going to come out with a first quarter report that's going to be way higher than last year's first quarter report, because last year's first quarter report showed the numbers as all the stores were shut down. It wasn't good last year. It's much higher this year. And with game systems being sold with consoles with accessories as a pack, you can't just buy the console without other stuff. Their margins are way higher. And so they're raking in all kinds of money right now. So the GameStop company, by the end of this month and into next month, the reports will come out how strong the financials are for the first quarter, added to how strong the financials were for the end of the fourth quarter we just had at the end of January. That is 6 months of solid financial results, probably showing the world that GameStop is pushing $9 billion or more in actual sales and is running a profit already. And of all that business that's been done in the last 6 months, about 35 to 45% or more is online business. The e-commerce strategy is happening. And I think they will come out on their annual meeting, the 9th of June, to tell us all, oh yeah, we made money in the first quarter. We made money in the fourth quarter last year. We expect to make a profit going forward right now. And we expect our costs to continue to drop because we have 1,800 stores this year where the leases are expiring. We're going to let them go. Most of them will be let go. We'll be down to 3,200 stores, maybe 3,500 stores by the end of this year. By the end of next year, we might be down to 2,000 stores as we ramp up e-commerce. And for every dollar we bring in the front door, we have a higher profit margin. We have fewer employees having to handle the merchandise, less rent, less property taxes, less legals, less inventory, because we don't have to inventory 5,000 stores anymore. We're inventorying 2,000, and we're inventorying our warehouses to what we need on a minimum basis. This company is leaner and meaner and making much more money on every dollar generated. So if they push their numbers to 10 billion in sales, they could be valued at $70 billion on the open market. 7 times sales. 7 times sales being an e-commerce company is a $70 billion market cap company divided by 70 million shares outstanding equals $1,000 a share on GameStop. It's trading at 165 right now. That's 16%, 16 and a half cents on the dollar is where the stock's trading at right now. If it goes to $1,000, they're on their way already. They're already on their way with the money coming in, $1,400 per person money. It does not. If it does seem that the GameStop is rigged, though, not going to sell though. You might think it's rigged, but I don't think so. I know Bruce loves Costco, but how do you feel about the stock? It's up by this month. Any bagel brains on this? What do you think about the stock, Bruce, on Costco? It's bled 30% in a month, says somebody. Though, what's going on? Buy in the dip. Let's continue on. I got to catch up. I don't have any thoughts on Costco, but one day I'll redo it. Yeah, Capital Change has a thought. Wondering, I think the SEC, hedge funds, and the DTCC are all working together to mitigate their losses to come. It's coming. They are just setting it up so they won't hurt so badly. So they think, I don't think they are working together. I don't think there's any of that happening whatsoever. Hedge funds don't give a darn what the SEC is up to, and at DTCC, they couldn't care less. The SEC doesn't give a darn about hedge funds or the DTCC, and the DTCC doesn't care about hedge funds or the SEC. Everyone is looking after their own situation. And I kind of wonder when there will be a moment in time where one event will cascade into a bunch of events. And the one event will be when brokerage house number one, whichever that one is, says to their customers, we are buying you into your short positions. We're covering all short positions of GameStop effective immediately. And the reasoning is they've been notified by the DTCC or the SEC that they are on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars of additional capital because of the short position that they're carrying, the failure to deliver position they're carrying. They won't stick around for that. They will buy up their customers immediately and be off the schneid. And that's the beginning of the end. And it's just like the movie Margin Call. You remember the movie Margin Call with Kevin Spacey? The brokerage firm was in big trouble and they had to have a meeting to sell their entire positions right away in the first 2 hours of trading. By 11 o'clock this morning, I want you to be out of 93% of your position. There could be a moment in time where a brokerage firm calls a meeting of its brokers, maybe by Zoom or however they do it now. And they tell them, call all your clients, including your hedge fund clients and any other client that's short GameStop. And you tell them right now, we're buying you in. We're buying you in right now because by lunch hour today, you are flat with this brokerage house on your GameStop position. That's how it'll start. That's the beginning. So within 15, 20 minutes of the opening of the market, regular trading day, you may notice the stock's up $15 a share and it's traded 7 million shares. And in half an hour, it's up another $5-10. It's traded another couple million shares. And there's this brokerage house buying up stock on GameStop everywhere. And all kinds of firms are selling them stock. Everyone does, because everyone else doesn't know what's going on. And the stock is up, but it's not up as much as it could be, but it's up and it's heavy volume. And then it leaks out. It leaks out that house number one did a forced buy-in of all short positions on GameStop. Now, that might only take 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And the street then knows what's up, what happened. And now the rest of the street, within 15 minutes to 20 minutes, they jump in and they declare no short positions on GameStop. We're buying everybody in now. And now you've got 200 brokerage houses all trying to buy stock that doesn't exist, because the only ones who have it are the retail investors. That's you guys. Mutual funds, pension funds, hedge funds, ETFs, index funds. Oh, index. And some hedge funds are long, and index funds are long. That's where it is. That's where the stock is. And we know there's 150, 200 plus million out there. We know that. We see the reports. Those have to be the sellers. But these sellers are going to hear the same news. They're going to hear exactly the same. They're going to find out, oh, every brokerage house has to cover GameStop now because of the short sell. They got to cover it now. They're all trying to buy it up, and they're not getting it. They moved it up $50 a share, and they only got 3 million shares. They moved it up another $20 a share. They got 5 million shares. They moved it up another $25, $50 share. They got another 4 or 5 million shares. Yeah, they're sellers. There'll be sellers at 300 and at 400 and 450. There'll be sellers, but there won't be enough sellers. That's the problem. And the higher the stock goes, the bigger the problem is. Even though the number of shares shorted is dropping, it's a bigger dollar problem than it was this morning when we were at $165 a share. At $300 a share, it's a much bigger multi-billion-dollar problem. Even if you can buy back 20 million shares on the shorts, it's still a bigger problem in dollars. And at 500 a share, at 600 a share, day after day after day, the stock just goes up and up and up, and there's not enough paper to satisfy the demand to get out from underneath the problem, and the problem is $80 billion big. It is gigantic. It is unthinkable. It's inconceivable how big the problem is. But that's when that happens. When that happens, that's what it'll be like. Now, I know you're asking yourself, when is that? When can you call me up, Bruce, so I can buy all the call options, that the $300 call options, the second before, 10 minutes before it all happens? And can you call me up 5-10 minutes before, so I can buy up all the stock I can get, so that in 15 minutes we're already looking good? Would you mind if I could do that? Why would I be here? Why would I be talking to you about the market in plain English? If I knew that, it would be.
That was easy.
It would be easy for me. I wouldn't have to be here talking about the market 3 hours in the morning and the market 2 hours in the afternoon. It would be so.
That was easy.
Easy. I'd be rich. But I don't know when that's going to happen. But it's going to happen, probably, most likely. To what extent, though? We'll see. I'll let you know. I'll be here giving you the play-by-play. I'll be doing that. Let's see what's going on. The massive amounts of calls on 419 plus the failure to deliver could be fun. Yes, could be. I want to buy 100 shares of IPO. Can you tell me at what price I should do it at market? Just buy it. Just buy it now. Don't be pussyfooting around. Just buy it. Just go out there and buy it now. It's 1778. Buy it now. Buy it. Just don't ask me any questions. Buy it. Buy it. Just whatever it's trading for. Just buy it. Buy it. Just buy it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it now. Capital change 420. They probably will ensure they make money off of this, off the loss of the hedge funds. The interest they have to keep paying to short will break them eventually. There's a problem there. GameStop will rocket when you focus on something other than their stocks. There is a crazy battle going on in this chart. Calls expire on the 16th. DFV's calls expire next week. His expire next week, so he'll be exercising between now and then. Capital, just look at all the the DTC filings over the past month. They're clearly preparing for something big. They're obviously just dragging it out. We're ready. We're ready. Free thinker. I like GameStop and will hold for the long term because I like the way the company's headed. But man, there are so many conspiracy theories floating around on some of these subreddits. But then again, they could all be just guesses. If you want in, just get in. But I've noticed a trend in SPACs where they do drop right after the merger before getting back up to their potential. This deal should be finished at any time. This IPOE, either tomorrow or next week, you will find the stock symbol will be SOFI, 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 yeah, SOFI, and it'll be a 1-for-1 split. It'll happen at any time. You have not got much left, not much time left to buy IPOE because it's about to change over to Sofi. It's almost there. Yeah, and there are only so many shares available. Remember, after January, when it went from 100 to 75, the more cash holding, only 75 million shares existing. That's exactly it. There's a lot of cash into this stock, and we'll stay into the stock, but this will get tighter and tighter and tighter. Anyway, folks, there's my morning show. I've been on the air for 3 hours, 9 minutes. I got to get going. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you also for those of you giving me 1,100 thumbs ups today. Thank you. Keep them coming if you don't mind. Give us more thumbs ups if you could and help us go higher on the day. Thank you for sending me comments on my email account and talking to me. 165 on the stock right now. That's where we're at right now. The Dow is up 82, S&P up 6, NASDAQ down only 15 points. I'll be back at 3 o'clock this afternoon Eastern time, 1 hour before the close, to talk about this market. And then in the afternoon, if you remind me after the bell, I've got an Olympic story for you, 1988 Winter Olympic story out of Calgary. Story time with your Uncle Bruce. If you want to hear that story, catch up with me around 4 in the afternoon Eastern time until 5 Eastern, and I'll give you a Friday afternoon story about the Olympics. Thank you. If there's only 20 of you here, I know what happened. That nobody wants to hear that story. But anyway, there you have it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you a little later this afternoon. Knee. Let's get some knees up there. I'll get some knee logos up there. There they are right there. I'll get some more up there. Here we go. We get the knee logos up there. Here we go. Knee. There we go. Everybody move that market. Move that market. Let's go. Don't forget your new emojis. We got new emojis. We got ketchup emojis. We've got jelly emojis. Get them all up there, guys. Hit the emoji train. Don't forget the buzzer emojis. Use the emojis all you want, and we're having fun today. Thank you, all of you, so much for your support of this YouTuber and this channel. 1,200 thumbs ups. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. We'll talk at you later on at 3 o'clock Eastern, okay? We'll see you then. All right. Bye for now.